presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Santana leads the league in wins and ERA. He's been the toughest pitcher to hit in all of baseball, a 120 opponent's batting average. His opponent today is the guy with the second best opponent's batting average, Chris Sale, at 166. He also leads the league with 63 strikeouts. It's the final game of a three-game series between the Twins and the Red Sox on a beautiful Sunday afternoon at Target Field in Minneapolis. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by State Farm. We've seen two very different games so far in this series. Joe Mauer won it for the Twins in a walk-off on Friday night. Then the Red Sox pounded 16 hits and scored 11 runs yesterday. You have to figure today runs are going to be a little tougher to come by.
We expect this game to be a very low-scoring game. You never know what's going to happen. Somebody could just pound the heck out of the other pitcher, but probably not likely. These are the two best guys in baseball right now. Come at it from different positions. Sale, just a power pitcher. And when when two guys are on the mound like this, you as a hitter know that it's going to be a low-scoring game, and you have to have total focus on what you can do every time up to have some success against a guy that's as tough as Chris Sale is. For the Twins, that means making him throw you really good pitches to hit and taking pitches that are questionable. Make him throw you the ball in the middle of the plate, because if you don't, he's going to beat you.
Spot where the pitcher might be most vulnerable early?
Yeah, it's always with these guys, if you don't get them early, that's it.
Jack Morris has pitched in a few of these type of games in his career. He weighs in on the Sunday Showdown next.
since we've had a pitching matchup, a marquee matchup like the one we've got today. Two of the best in the game. Chris Sale for the Boston Red Sox and Ervin Santana for the Minnesota Twins. Gorgeous day for baseball again here at the ballpark, Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Jack Morris. Over the last 10 years, Twins have faced a lot of great pitchers, but they haven't been able to put someone on the mound for them that would match up against the great pitchers. We've got that guy today, Ervin Santana, who over the last 20 starts or so has been among the best in the game.
No question about it. You look at these two guys, it's rare, like you mentioned, Dick, that both guys on top of their game and we get to watch them battle it out. Ervin Santana, 10 wins, 1.89 ERA over his last 21 starts, as good as anybody in the history of the game as of late. 5-0 for the Twins, looking for his 6th win. He has been sensational. It's going to be one of those days where you just have to sit back and watch these guys do their thing, because if they're both on, if they both have command, it's going to be a delightful day. Chris Sale, we know that as a White Sox the last few years, the Twins have really gotten to him. You see the numbers. Twins have won 5 times with a 7.62 ERA. But that's not who Chris Sale is this year. He's been dealing. He's throwing strikeouts in 45 innings, 63 strikeouts so far for the Red Sox. So we're going to sit back and enjoy a baseball game, in my opinion.
Series win on this homestand. They'd like to follow it up with another one and a marquee pitching matchup in the last game of the homestand.
Baseball as the Twins close out the 3-game series against the Boston Red Sox. I'm Audra Martin inside Target Field. It's days like today. Perfect weather, a great matchup on the mound that make lifelong memories, especially if it's your first baseball game, like Lauren and Archer, who are both here for their very first baseball game. You guys excited?
Yes.
How about you, Archer?
Yes, very.
Very excited. Well, Friday afternoon, the commissioner of baseball was here at Target Field, and he reminisced about the memories of his very first baseball game.
Honestly, one of the great weekends of my life. My parents, I grew up in upstate New York, about 4 hours from New York City. My parents got tickets to 2 games at Yankee Stadium. We went on Saturday. The Twins beat the Yankees 3-2. Mickey Mantle hit a home run from each side of the plate. Mantle was really my hero. It was his last year. It was, even though the Yankees lost and I was a Yankee fan, it was a tremendously exciting experience. I remember my father saying for years afterwards he could not believe the number of hot dogs I consumed at the ballpark. But I don't really remember that. I remember him talking about it. You know, it was a formative experience for me, and a great experience for our family.
Well, hopefully today makes for some wonderful memories, as well as the Twins send one of baseball's best pitchers to the mound.
While you're up there,
These two teams are each 2 games above the 500 mark. They are competitive within their divisions. But what is the headline here today? The fact that Ervin Santana, who has been historically good to the start of this season, against Chris Sale, who's among the nastiest left-handed pitchers that's come through Major League Baseball in a long time. You just don't get matchups like this very often.
No, and you know, at least you and I, Dick, I can't speak for all the fans here, but I got to believe there's a lot like us excited about today's game.
Here's the Boston lineup. Mookie Betts, Dustin Pedroia, Xander Bogaerts, Andrew Benintendi, Hanley Ramirez, Mitch Moreland, Chris Young, Sandy Leon, and Devin Marrero. And Santana's first pitch. Outside ball 1.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch the first few innings and how these two guys navigate through these lineups.
Popped up right side. A-Ray Adrianza is playing at second base for the Twins. He comes in, makes the catch, 1 away. Here are the Twins out in the field. They're glad to have Byron Buxton back out in center field. As you look at the Northland Ford defense, flanked by Rosario in left, Grossman in right, Sano, Polanco, Adrianza, and Vargas, the infielders. Chris Jimenez behind the plate. Twins going with about as right-handed a lineup as they can against the left-hander Chris Sale. 1 down. Here is Dustin Pedroia. Outside ball 1.
I think when we watch this game progress, we're going to see two guys that if they fall behind by 1 pitch, they're going to challenge the hitters and come into the zone.
Breaking ball hits the corner, 1-1.
And that comes from confidence. Both these guys are in command of their game. They both know that the results have been there, so they're going to challenge the hitters. The pressure is on the hitters today.
Popped up out of play. Now, I asked you before the game what the comparable would have been in your playing career, and I asked you Roger Clemens how many times, and you said,
well, I don't think we, maybe once or twice at max. It wasn't like we, you know, and that's why these games are rare.
That's the point. You just don't get matchups like this very often. You and Nolan Ryan, how many times?
Not very often.
Yeah.
Even Bert and I think twice in our careers, and we played over the same period for at least a dozen years.
2-2 to Pedroia. Dan Iasanya will call balls and strikes. DeMuro, Gibson, Gorman, the umpires on the bases. I would guess even an umpire would get psyched up for what's supposed to.
I absolutely know they do. I've been told by umpires they look forward to these kind of games.
2-2 to Pedroia. Taken a little bit low. 3-2. Bogaerts on deck. Pedroia got the biggest hit of the ball game. There were a lot of big hits for the Red Sox. Obviously, they scored 11 runs, but a bases clearing double in the second inning with 2 outs. And he drives one deep to left field, and a home run for Pedroia, just his 2nd of the year, and the Red Sox draw first blood.
It's early in the ball game, and what I said just a minute ago is really true. Ervin Santana is not going to walk Dustin Pedroia to get to Xander Bogaerts. He's going to challenge him, and he left the ball up and in. You see that? Not a bad pitch, but Pedroia likes the ball. He loves fastballs, and he will hunt them in these kind of counts. Didn't miss it. When he's swinging well, like we saw the other night, he doesn't miss mistakes.
For Santana, just the 4th run that he's allowed and the 3rd solo home run that he has allowed Here is Bogaerts. Pitches up, ball one. Twins have had a terrible time trying to get Bogaerts out. He's racked up hits in bunches against the Twins. 4 hits already in this series. Inside clipped him, and he'll go to first.
Well, again, it's an established pitcher trying to show those hitters that he's not afraid to come in. He backs 2 fastballs up back to back on the inner part. Bogaerts, we talked about yesterday, is a little bit of a diver, and that one just ran inside. You could see the movement of the pitch, caught his uniform.
And now Andrew Benintendi. Yesterday hit cleanup for the first time in his big league career. Red Sox scored 11 runs, so he's back in the cleanup spot again today. Big swing and a miss, 0-1.
Took a little off that first pitch. Benintendi out in front of it. See the numbers for him this year. Roy Smalley raves about his swing and how he keeps his head still. Important aspect of hitting, to be able to see that ball when your head's not moving.
0-2.
Here's his hot zone. You can see a lot of that pink. He can handle the ball up and away, out and away, down and away, and down the middle. Oh, he's just a good hitter.
Santana ahead of him, 0-2. Deep to right field. And this one is long gone. And the Red Sox jump on Irvin Santana. They've scored 3 runs against him already here today. The total he had allowed in his 6 prior starts.
Well, again, a pitch that was left in an area where the hitter really has feasted on it. Benintendi, wow, that was impressive. This guy's not a big guy, but leaves it right there in the wheelhouse. And you can see his entire body got excited there, but look at how still his head is. Roy says there's no loop in his swing. He just bat to the ball directly, and that's a good swing.
Swing and a miss on the slider. Hanley Ramirez. You don't see Santana making many mistakes, but on an 0-2 pitch, Benintendi hit it a long way. Missing the inside corner, 1-1. He's made a very strong first impression on the Twins. He didn't play against them last year. He's had a good series. Fouled away, and it's 1-2.
I got to believe Irvin Santana is one of those guys, and I certainly was one of them. I know I played with several teammates that were like that. You watch a game unfold like yesterday's game, and you are so fired up to be on the mound the next day, to stop the bleeding, to be the guy that just makes a difference. And a lot of times early you come out, you're overamped a little.
Even a veteran.
Even a veteran. You cannot help it, but it's just part of the DNA that you're built like. And you know, he left a couple pitches up. He's going to challenge I knew he would challenge them. He's not going to nibble. He's coming after him.
2-2 to Ramirez. Red Sox have ambushed Santana here in this first inning, and now a chopper foul.
Well, if history repeats itself, the Twins are going to get a few good swings off of Chris Sale. They've really done a good job in the last few years, and you know, certainly a different year, but Chris Sale's got it in his mind. He knows what the Twins have done against him, so just got to get out of this inning with any further damage.
And now a full count. This will be the 20th pitch of the inning for Irvin Santana. He got the first out, so far the only out of the inning, on his second pitch.
And that in itself, what you just said, 20th pitch, that hasn't happened much this year. He's really had clean innings.
Full count. And Ramirez on a half swing draws a walk. So 4 straight batters have reached, and that'll bring up Mitch Moreland.
Moreland's one of those guys that has pretty good numbers off of Irvin in his career. In 27 at bats, he's got 8 hits, a .296 batting average.
I was surprised to look at that. There's only 2 Boston hitters that have more than 10 at bats against Irvin Santana. Irvin's been around a long time. You'd think there'd be more, but then you look at the Boston roster and they've got guys like Bogarts and some younger guys. Backhanded by Jimenez, ball 1. And Ramirez has spent most of his career in the National League.
Yeah, Moreland and Pedroia are the only 2 guys that have had a bunch of at bats.
1-0 to Mitch Moreland. On the ground, fumbled briefly by Vargas, and they'll get 1 but not 2. Don't think they would have gotten a double play anyway. Ramirez forced at second for the second out. And that'll bring up Chris Young.
Let's watch it unfold here. Kenny Vargas gets the ball, and I think a little bit like yesterday, he did not follow it right into his hands. Bigger first baseman glove. Sometimes the ball's rolling around in there on a ground ball, and you got to kind of get the handle on it, find the ball first, and he was able to do that. Didn't panic. He got the lead runner.
Here's Chris Young. An unlikely start to this game, with the Red Sox jumping on Santana for 3 and hitting a couple of home runs. Backhanded by Sano. A long throw, and Vargas niftily picks it up on the backhand side. Good defensive play ending the inning, but the Red Sox, last in the league in home runs hit, go twice deep, twice against Irvin Santana. Red Sox got 3 in the top of the first inning. Paul Molitor hoping that the Twins can approach tomorrow's off day in the imminent road trip with another series win. The Menards batting order has Robbie Grossman in the leadoff spot. Then Jorge Polanco, Miguel Sano, Kenny Vargas, Eduardo Escobar, Chris Jimenez, Eddie Rosario, Byron Buxton, and Ere Adrianza.
And the Twins are going to take their chances against the left-hander Chris Sale, making his 7th start. He's recorded 10+ strikeouts in each of his last 5 games. He's got 63 strikeouts so far, tying Randy Johnson for the most by any pitcher over the first 6 games. So he's been punching out the hitters.
And hasn't been given much run support. It worked out okay for Rick Porcello yesterday. And now Sale hits the outside corner with a mid-90s fastball. Grossman, Polanco, and Sano here in the first. Cracked foul, 0-2.
Well, Sale's going to feature a lot of fastballs, especially now with a 3-run lead. Look at the impressive company that Chris Sale's amongst in strikeouts over the first 6 starts of the season.
Outside 1-2. Leading the league in strikeouts. Both these teams are in the top 6 in terms of team ERA, and you're looking at the main reason in each case. Sale and Santana over the inside corner, and Grossman looking is the first strikeout victim today. Northland Ford defense for the Red Sox. Chris Young is in left, Benintendi is in center, Mookie Betts in right, Marrero, Bogarts, Pedroia, Moreland the infielders, and as is the case so far this year, Sandy Leon always doing the catching for Chris Sale. Here is Polanco, outside ball 1.
One of the more impressive things about Chris Sale is his durability. Here's a guy that's 6'6", $195, dripping wet. You think he's going to break down. He's got that almost between a sidearm and 3/4 delivery. Crossfires a little bit. Has a lot of whip and a lot of leverage, but a lot of stress on his arm. And he's been very, very durable.
To right center field and deep. Betts back. Makes the catch in the gap. Polanco hit the ball hard to the gap, but Betts tracked it down for out number 2.
Here's the delivery from Chris Sale. You see how he keeps his head still and he drives towards the plate. But that arm slot, a little different from a lot of guys. And I think sometimes that it puts less stress on your shoulder, more stress on your elbow. You know, we talked about Craig Breslow, how he wanted to drop down to that slot. We talked about other guys who want to avoid that slot. Let's take a look at what his delivery looks like from the hitter's point of view. See, it's kind of sidearm almost.
Threw the changeup to Sano and got a swinging strike, 1-1. Sano with good numbers against Sale. 6 for 10 with a home run, but now he's behind in the count, 0-2. That's the lineup against Sale. Brian Dozier's had success against Sale with 3 home runs, but he's not in the lineup today. And Sano chases 97 upstairs, and Sale with a 3-0 lead breezes through the Twins lineup in the bottom of the first. Time now for AARP's Getting to Know Ervin Santana. And although he's been in professional baseball since 2001, the Twins are hoping that he doesn't retire anytime soon.
Now making his 350th career start today. He's played for the Angels, the Royals, the Braves, and now here from Minnesota.
First pitch, a strike to Sandy Leon. Starting the second inning for Boston, then Devin Marrero and Mookie Betts. Red Sox did in the first inning to Irvin Santana what the Twins have typically done recently against Chris Sale. Knocked him around a little bit. Just 2 hits, but they both went over the fence. And now it's 1-1 to Leon. Two and one. I mentioned it after the Red Sox were done in the first inning. They're last in the league, or were, in home runs hit, just 22.
Well, both Pedroia and Benintendi got fastballs up.
Nice pickup by Vargas at first, and he'll make the play. Diving toward the line for the first out. Let's go to Audra Martin.
Well, guys, it's time for our Car Soup scoop from the clubhouse. Paul Molitor says Brian Dozier is walking significantly better than he was yesterday. Brian says he could play, but the plan is to stick with a return early next week. Justin Haley has been activated from the disabled list. The plan was to stretch him out in Rochester, but because of the struggles of the staff up here, that sped things up. He takes Michael Tonkin's spot on the roster. And when it comes to the rotation, Paul Molitor says no decision has been made yet because Alberto Mejia struggled his last time out. Jose Barrios' start today could get rained out, but he also clarified Tyler Duffy and Drew Zinski not being considered for a start next week. Guys.
All right, thank you, Audra. Strike one to Devin Marrero, making his first at bat of the year. 0-1. We should mention that after we left the air last night, Michael Tonkin was designated for assignment or release. And the last week saw the Twins make a lot of roster decisions, with Kyle Gibson being sent down to AAA, Danny Santana designated for assignment, and yesterday Michael Tonkin. Justin Haley is here and available. Twins would have liked to have kept Haley on a rehab assignment, but the way things have gone here with too many short starts as of late, they needed some relief help.
Well, there wasn't a lot of changes to the Twins roster in the pitching department over the offseason, and we've seen a pattern that by first week of May or second week of May, there's been changes every year for the last several years. There's a good breaking ball right there, and Irvin records his first strikeout of the day.
Red Sox had 4 batters reach in a row in the first inning, and now Santana's retired 4 in a row. 2 down, and that'll bring up Mookie Betts. That slider that's so tough because it breaks so late. Betts with a pop-up to Adrianza, his first time up. Swing and a miss. Up the middle and through. Betts with a base hit. And Betts is aboard, and that'll get Pedroia to the plate.
Irvin's probably a little frustrated right there. The ball did not hit the barrel of the bat. It was on the hands a little bit, but it found a good spot, getting right past Irvin and up the middle.
Pedroia got the scoring started with a home run on a fastball with a 3-2 count. Ball one outside.
This guy would be hard to pitch to. He doesn't have a big strike zone. He's got an excellent eye. He's aggressive. He loves to hunt fastballs, and he sprays the ball all over. So you can't pitch him the same pattern every time.
Half swing, but he went, said home plate umpire Dan Iasanya.
And I say it a lot. I know Bert says it a lot. You've got to be able to make him a little bit uncomfortable. He's the kind of guy that gets more aggressive if you brush him off a little inside, move his feet once in a while. And he gets angry about that. He's very, very competitive, and you love that as a teammate. But it can be a detriment to him, and therefore a pitcher's got to do that now and then. You've got to move this guy's feet, and then that'll open up the outer side of the plate, and he will start swinging out of the zone a little bit because he wants to beat you that bad.
talking about his competitiveness, and he's great to have as a teammate. And I was going to suggest to you that there might not be a more respected player among opponents than Pedroia.
Well, it's amazing to me how many good, small second basemen there are in the game today. You know, Altuve is the same kind of guy. He just doesn't have as much time as Pedroia.
Popped up. Vargas chasing it. Adrianza chasing it. And it lands harmlessly on the warning track.
It'll be interesting to watch Adrianza and how many opportunities he's going to get at second base. Everybody talks so highly of his glove and his ability to field the baseball. He had a long run there after that one. Couldn't quite get there.
1-2 to Pedroia. Santana's been involved in enough big games like this to know that you can't do anything about the 3 runs you allowed. You have to start putting up zeros and let your guys peck away at the 3-0 lead.
Well, he had 2 strikes on Pedroia in his first at bat and didn't give in. Pedroia got him.
And there's strike 3.
And he won that battle.
2 strikeouts in the inning, a scoreless second, and it's 3-0 Boston. Red Sox having great success, and he's tinkered with his arsenal just a little bit.
Well, it's not untypical of guys as they age a little bit to throw less fastballs and start mixing in a little bit more off-speed stuff and breaking balls. And Chris Sale certainly still loves his fastball. Got one of the best in the league we've already seen in the high 90s, but he's cutting back a little bit.
I guess that's the takeaway for me is he still is throwing hard. Struck out Sano on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Sometimes pitchers don't adapt or make changes except out of necessity, but he's still got the fastball up in the upper 90s. Vargas fouls it back, and it's 1-2.
Well, change sometimes is a tough thing, especially early in a season. Chris Sale's wearing a different uniform for the first time in his career. He had the same pitching coach his whole time, Don Cooper in Chicago. And now he's got my former teammate Carl Willis in Boston. He got a lot of money, a big contract. There's a lot of pressure on him to win in Boston. But I think what happens sometimes is you just go to spring training, you have a different feel. As he blows away Kenny Vargas for his 3rd strikeout, another fastball. But I really think it might be his catcher. They're on page. And he's got a lot of confidence and Leon's caught him, and he's going to catch him.
One down. Here's Escobar. And he starts Escobar with a breaking ball over for strike one. Foul back, 2 strikes.
Escobar is another guy that has some pretty good numbers in his career. He's faced him 21 times, got 6 hits.
Up and away at 96. 1-2.
They were teammates for a short period of time, I believe, in Chicago, weren't they?
Yes. 2-2. Remember when Sale first was drafted, brought up to the White Sox very quickly, there was some debate as to where he would be best served, as a starting pitcher, perhaps as a closer. And Escobar waves at a 79-mile-per-hour offering. 2 down. Let's go to Audra Martin.
Well, guys, revenge is the name of the game in our big story. Last night in Philly, Ryan Zimmerman about to add to his league-leading 12 home runs until Odubel Herrera has other plans, absolutely robbing him of the home run. Take a look at that. Doesn't get much better than that. Well, Zimmerman would have a chance at revenge. His very next at-bat, he made sure this one was unreachable. He had a great night at the plate. He followed up that hit with an RBI double in the 6-2 victory. Guys?
Zimmerman's just been outstanding for the Nationals, and one of the reasons they got 21 wins in their first 30 games. First team to 21 wins.
I wonder why they're pitching to him.
Swing and a miss by Jimenez. It's 1-1. Figured Jimenez would get the start here because Sale has been tough on righties and lefties, but he's really been tough. Here's Jimenez with a drive to left and deep and over the glove of Chris Young. Jimenez digging for second, and a well struck double with 2 outs in the second.
Well, there's the Twins' first hit, a double for Chris Jimenez. Chris Young goes back on this ball, takes a futile attempt to try to nab it and misses, and then the ball ricochets off the wall and he misses it again. And that was all it needed. That little bit of a delay here. You can see his first attempt, he kind of turned around the wrong way, and then it ricochets and oops, it gets by him again.
And that will bring up the only left-handed batter in the lineup for the Twins, Eddie Rosario. As Jimenez was cracking his double, I was talking about Sale and how tough he's been this year against left-handed hitters. Just 2 hits in 17 at-bats, a 118 average.
That's pretty tough.
That's why Kepler and Mauer and Castro are on the bench. Chance for another 2-out hit here, maybe getting the Twins on the board. Rosario taps it foul. That got the home plate umpire.
Well, I like what Eddie's doing right here. He's got his elbow hanging out over the plate. He's right up on the dish. And Chris Sale certainly not, I mean, a lot like Randy Johnson was. Very intimidated left-handers in their arm angle and where they're going. But look at where Eddie is. He's right up on the plate. He's got his front foot on the batter's box line. Those elbows almost in the strike zone.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
But his body's kind of going south as soon as the pitch is thrown.
By far, he's had the most success against lefties among Twins left-handed batters. Castro hitting 192, Kepler hitting 148, Mauer 200, and Rosario hitting 265 against lefties. But he hasn't faced this lefty yet this year. 1-2.
It takes a little bit of courage to hang in there when you guys throwing at the angle that Sale's throwing at, and you're up there in the box and you're on the plate as a left-hander. You really got to stay in. It's not easy to do.
Struck him out. 3 swinging strikeouts for Chris Sale. 5 strikeouts already through 2 innings, and a 3-0 Boston lead. impressive series of games from Xander Bogaerts recently against the Twins. In the last 10, he's hit over 600. And back-to-back 4-hit games last year against the Twins here at Target Field. And got 3 hits again yesterday.
It's been pretty impressive. You see the hot zones in those last 10 games, and anything belt high, he can cover all sides of the plate, and down the middle low and down and away low. He's pretty good there too. He's a guy that kind of drives into the baseball, stands middle of the batter's box, sometimes in the back part of the batter's box.
On the ground towards Polanco, and over to Vargas, 1 away. And that'll bring up Benintendi. Bogaerts started the day 4th in the league in hitting, behind Starlin Castro, Avisail Garcia, and Mike Trout. Benintendi, the rookie, is 7th in the league in hitting coming into play today, and he clobbered a 2-run home run on an 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, I don't know which one of these two guys has been more impressive. Benintendi doesn't have the numbers against the Twins so far, but he has really enjoyed feasting on Twins pitching so far.
I always cringe when I hear of comparisons made, but in New England already they're comparing this guy to Fred Lynn. Now, you had to pitch against Fred Lynn. You've seen this guy now this weekend. Any fair comparison to the former All-Star?
Well, they're both left-handed. Freddie was my teammate in Detroit. Freddie was a little taller, had a longer swing. This guy's got a quicker bat. Not quite as powerful as Freddie, but yeah, I guess you could do that. Freddie was an outfielder, could cover the ground as an all-star. This guy's going to be one soon, I'm sure.
2-1. And low, 3-1.
A lot of times you can tell how good a hitter is by how they take an off-speed pitch. And that right there, that last pitch would have made me nervous. You throw a good changeup down, and he seemed to be totally dialed in on it.
Vargas doing a Kent Herbeck imitation over there at first base today. 2 down. Time now for our State Farm combination. You can see Urban Santana and Hector Santiago have been awfully good with 8 wins already this year and a sub-2 ERA. And I think we've described the rotation for the Twins as being a little top heavy because the front 2 have been really good. Phil Hughes had his best start here the other day, but the Twins have a couple of holes in the rotation, with Gibson being demoted and a short start yesterday by the current number 5 starter, Nick Tepish. Here's Hanley Ramirez.
Well, there's a lot of baseball teams looking for a quality 5th starter, and when you need 2, it complicates the issue even more.
That's why I was, expressing to you before the game. The way the Twins rotation is right now, it would seem unlikely that they'd be capable of having a long winning streak. So games like this, the rubber games, if you will, are so important because you can compensate for the lack of a long winning streak and have a competitive season as long as you keep winning series, or most of them.
And I think it's unfair and a heck of a lot of pressure on a guy like Irvin, who's been our ace, #1 guy, to expect that he's going to do it every day. He's human. He's going to have innings like he had in the first inning to start this game. And yet he seems to be settling in now. 2 quick outs here.
And a breaking ball gets a tapper foul.
But you're absolutely right about that. I think when you head into postseason, you need three starters. You don't need 5. You need 3. But it takes 5 to get there.
0-2 to Hanley Ramirez. Inside. Almost raked him in the knuckles.
Moved his feet. He had to jump back a little bit. Urban's not afraid to do that. He tried to do that to Pedroia early, but the count favored Pedroia, and then he left it out over the plate a little.
And now 2-2. As Audra mentioned before, the Twins are playing it pretty coy regarding their need next Saturday for another starter. And And it might be Jose Barrios. Internally, he might be the most logical candidate. Barrios starting today for the Rochester Red Wings. 2-2. Now a full count with Moreland on deck. Fouled away. As disappointing as the loss was yesterday for the Twins, the only team in the division that won a game is Cleveland.
So they move up, switch places
and
with the Twins. Twins now a half game behind Cleveland.
They were playing Kansas City, so the Central Division yesterday was 1-4. Full count. Check the swing, and Ramirez takes another walk. Second time that Irvin Santana's walked Hanley Ramirez. Looking for the ultimate Twins experience this summer? The all-new Twins baseball and softball camps presented by select Heartland Chevy dealers are perfect for your kids' summer plans. Camps are for kids ages 6 to 14 and feature a current Twins player and coach, a VIP day trip to Target Field, full Twins uniform, skills competition, and more. To learn more and register, visit twinsbaseball.com/training. Moreland takes up and away, ball one. Moreland hit a ground ball to Vargas, reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
Well, Santana pitch count a little bit high for him to start a ball game. 2 outs in the third inning, and he's got 54 pitches already.
And now outside 2-0. Mentioned the Red Sox haven't hit many home runs. Moreland's got 2 of them, but he's got 14 doubles to lead the American League. Got another one yesterday. Big swing and a miss. He was not swinging for a double
or a single, and did not try to go to left, move the runner. No, these are the healthy swings that we see more and more of in baseball.
You see them now with 2 strikes.
Lift and separate. You might get lucky.
Tapper foul, 2-2. Santana trying to wrap up the top of the third. Got him with a high fastball. Another scoreless inning for Santana. Red Sox lead at 3-0. You're watching Twins baseball, presented by State Farm. Presented by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Red Sox ambushed Irvin Santana with a couple of home runs and 3 first-inning runs, and now Chris Sale, with 5 strikeouts today, has run his total on the year up to 68.
Yeah, compare that with 2 guys that have been perennial strikeout guys, Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer, and he's blowing them out of the water this year.
Buxton back in the lineup, bluffed a bunt, took a strike. He faced Chris Sale last year in Chicago, final game of the year, and led off the game with an inside the park home run. Outside, 1-1.
One thing you have to acknowledge about Chris Sale this year is he's throwing more strikes. Here's a guy that got to a lot of 3-ball counts, and pitch count would become a problem for him. A little bit erratic in the last few years, but this year command in the strike zone has been excellent, and pitch count has been down because of it.
5 strikeouts, the last 4 swinging, and all 4 swinging strikeouts have come on a fastball upstairs.
Think about the fact that he's averaged 10 strikeouts in his first 5 starts. That's 60 pitches in every start just to get 10 strikeouts minimum, and a bunch of those had to be 1- and 2-ball counts.
And Buxton strikes out on another fastball. 6 of the first 8 batters have struck out. Sanford Health injury report: David Price has had an elbow issue going back to spring training. He's been throwing simulated games, and they hope to have him back at the end of May. And then they will have a left-handed 1-2 punch, the likes of which I'm not sure the American League has seen since the Twins had Liriano and Santana.
Yeah, and I would have to say those 2 guys could trump that if they, if you look at their prime, and
right,
especially what Chris Sale is doing right now.
Adrianza takes outside, and it's 2-0.
And you add Rick Porcello in the mix as the reigning Cy Young Award winner, and you got a 3-man rotation there that is second to none. And that's what Boston was counting on. That's what they were really saying. Hey, we're going to be in. Spend some money on these guys.
And now 2-2 to Adrianza.
Well, he already got an at-bat in yesterday's game, and he flew out to center field. That's his first Twins at-bat in the big leagues.
Breaking ball got him. So picking up strikeout after strikeout with 2-strike fastballs, and then he buckles Adrianza and gets him looking. 9 at bats, 7 strikeouts for Chris Sale.
Bottom of the strike zone. You see this breaking ball starts way off the plate and comes in. Great job by Leon to frame this pitch. Ball could have been a tad low, but where it crosses the plate initially, the ball was high enough, and that's what Dan Iasagna decided.
Grossman swings through a changeup, strike 1. He was called out on strikes to start the first inning for the Twins. Another changeup, another swing and a miss. Sale struck out the side in the second. 2 strikeouts already, and now Grossman behind in the count, 0-2. 1-2.
Well, Chris Jimenez did get a hit, so we're not looking at no-hitter, but this reminds me of a game where I watched Randy Johnson throw a no-hitter against my team, the Tigers, and you can see Sale's just dialed in. He can't wait to get the baseball back again because he's got a plan for the next pitch.
The fact of the matter is, over the last 2 years, by the 3rd inning, the Twins have at times knocked him out of the ball game already, or at least had him on the ropes.
Rattled him for sure.
And so here he is with a 3-0 lead, and he's got a little venom in him, a little vengeance he'd like to take out on the team that's tormented him. Just outside, and Grossman's lucky to still have the at bat. 3-2. Polanco on deck. Look around the plate. And Grossman off the end of the bat. Makes contact with that changeup.
And this is the situation the last couple of years that Sales struggled in. He gets 3-2 and then he'll be a little erratic and walk a guy, and he might walk another guy and then a hit. We went through a string where we got a lot of weak hits off Sale and then a big hit. And so you pile them all together and it frustrates a guy.
Jacked his swing. He'll take a walk. Grossman at first with 2 down, and that'll bring up Polanco. It's hard to figure because obviously the Twins have not been world beaters in Sale's tenure in the big leagues, but yet they have done more damage to him than anybody else, and particularly over the last 2 years. Well, here's Polanco. Hit the ball hard his first time up toward the gap in right center, but Betts tracked it down.
Now you look at that chart that we just showed you, and top 2 teams were in the same division. Now he's going to face them the most.
Bunted up the line, foul. There have only been 2 balls put in play here today against Sale, and I guess the good news is they've both been hit rather sharply. Polanco's liner to the gap for an out. Jimenez's liner over the head of Young and left.
And you had a swing of the bat right here, and you're within 1. So even though it was a tough first inning for Irvin Santana, this game is still well within reach, as well as Chris Sale's pitching 7 strikeouts already through 2 2/3 innings.
One strike to Polanco. Now breaking ball pulled foul, 0-2. The price was pretty steep. Yoan Moncada, by all accounts, is going to be a great player for the Chicago White Sox. He's off to a great start. He's already hit his 6th home run for the White Sox AAA team. Oh, 0-2 to Polanco. High and deep to left center field. Benintendi tracks it down in front of the bullpen. Polanco's hit the ball hard twice against Chris Sale for 2 outs, and it's still 3-0. A good week. It's been a good homestand for the Twins. Joe Mauer with the big walk-off home run here in the series opener Friday night. Yesterday, a game to forget. And so far, what we've seen, Jack, This Twins team has been able to forget those forgettable games so far. One terrible game hasn't led to 4 or 5 in a row that we saw last year.
Well, that's because of guys like Irvin and Hector Santiago. As of late, Phil Hughes. You're going to have guys be competitive, and they can match up against anybody. And you look at this game, certainly Chris Sale's been dialed in, 7 punch-outs already, but 2 swings of the bat difference in this game. That's the home runs from Troya and Benintendi.
Chris Young hit a hot smash behind the third base bag. Sano made a nice play. Vargas made a better play, scooping up a low throw to get the Twins off the field in the first. Now it's 3-0 to Chris Young, who's hit 2 home runs in this series. There's a strike. 3-1. Also got a big 2-run single, pinch hit single in the 9th inning Friday. Lifted near the Twins dugout, and Vargas with a nice play on the warning track.
It's all over.
Made a couple of fielding plays here that merit some attention. And now let's find Audra Martin.
Well, guys, Irvin Santana's impressive start to this season is the best stretch from a Twin starting pitcher since, well, a guy that shares his name. In the last 21 starts, Irvin Santana has posted a 1.89 ERA, much like the 21 starts from Johan Santana back in June to September of 2004, when he managed a 1.34 ERA. Now, Johan Santana went on to finish that season with 20 wins, the best season of his career. Hopefully that's a good omen for Irvin Santana, guys.
Well, thank you, Audra.
And as you know, his given name, Irvin Santana's given name, was Johan Santana. And he said, you know, there's a guy that's already got that name, so maybe I'm going to take a look at a different name. And how he came up with Irvin, I don't know how he came up with that one, but he did. And that's what happened.
2 strikes to Sandy Leon. Hit a ground ball to Vargas his first time up. Vargas made a good play in a hot ground ball right down the line. Swing and a miss, and Leon is quickly gone. 2 down. There have been in my tenure some great streaks. I remember Scott Erickson's streak, 90 into 91, where he was extremely difficult to hit. Alan Anderson won the ERA title for the Twins, and then Irvin Santana this year.
Those are some pretty impressive ERAs.
There's Devin Marrero, struck out in his first at bat of the season, and now a swing and a miss.
But what I want to really emphasize here is the fact that, yeah, Irvin gave up 2 key hits that are cost him 3 runs early in this ball game, but he settled in, and now we're seeing 2 guys that are kind of battle the way that we expected them to. The real question is, can the Twins figure out Chris Sale?
2 strikes to Marrero. Polanco digs out the hop, throws on the run, and Irvin Santana's not given up a hit since Betts' 2-out single in the second. presented by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. By Grand Casino, the best stories start here. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Chris Sale staked to an early 3-0 lead. That's where we stand as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Miguel Sano, Kenny Vargas, and Eduardo Escobar. Sano has had good numbers against Sale, but Sale got him on strikes to end the 1st inning. Now a pop up to the right side. Pedroia out. And he makes the catch, and Sano's gone on 1 pitch. Toyota will bring us the opportunity now to get caught up.
In the 1st inning, Dustin Pedroia, first at bat. High fastball, left field. Sox lead 1-0. Then 2 hitters later, Andrew Benintendi crushes that ball. Another fastball inner part of the plate. And that's all the runs you're going to see in this game so far. Pretty much impressive for Chris Sale with 7 strikeouts through 3 innings.
Kenny Vargas takes strike 1. Vargas struck out. First time through the order. Sale had 7 strikeouts. None so far second time through the order, and now Vargas has an 0-2 count. To the backstop. 1-2. Second game in a row where we've seen Vargas hitting behind Sano.
I know ideally Paul Molitor would love to see Vargas continue to swing well enough to protect Sano. There's 2 guys that have the potential to leave the ballpark with any one given swing, but he needs to stay strong enough from there. Not much chance on that 97-mile-an-hour fastball away.
2 down here in the 4th. Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go. Here's Eduardo Escobar. Escobar struck out his first time up. He's hit the ball much better from the right side of the plate than the left, and that's something regarding Vargas that the Twins would really like to see. Vargas struggling as a right-handed batter. The Twins as a team not hitting left-handers very well at all, so it'd be nice if some of the switch hitters could provide a little pop. Down and away, and it's 2-1.
Well, Escobar, he's a guy that goes up there thinking swing, 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 but took a good pitch there. Now he finds himself in a very hitter-friendly count.
3-1. Jimenez on deck. And he chases what would have been ball 4. 3-2.
You don't have a lot of time to decide when a guy's throwing in the high 90s.
Fouled back. Sale just 2-2 with a 1.38 earned run average, so obviously he has not been given much run support, and today at least he's gotten some early run support and has made it hold up. On the ground to the shortstop. Bogarts fires across, just 1 strikeout in the inning, but a 1-2-3 inning nonetheless. Time now for our Pepsi fans of the game enjoying the sunshine. And they hope to eventually be enjoying the outcome of the ball game. But right now it's 3-0 Boston. And Mookie Betts will lead off the 5th for the Red Sox. Singled his last time up. If you just joined us, the Red Sox ambushed Irvin Santana. A couple of home runs and a quick 3-0 start in the first inning. Since then, Santana has settled down. Since the second home run by Benintendi, he's given up just 1 hit. 1 strike.
And it's ironic because the pattern over the last few years for the Twins offense against Chris Sale is get to him early. And today Chris Sale came out of the gate pitching outstanding, and Irvin had a little bit of a lapse to start the first inning, but since that first inning has settled in nicely, and we're seeing the pitchers duel that we pretty much expected.
Sale's pitch count, even with all the strikeouts, is still better than Santana's because of the first inning struggles. A couple of walks mixed in along the way here this afternoon. 2-1. Betts drives it hard to left. It's got some carry, and it is off the wall. Now they're saying home run.
It might have been hit the rail over the fence, which I think it did. It was that flower pot area.
Second base umpire Trip Gibson made the call. And it's the 3rd home run of the ball game for the Boston Red Sox.
See, it's another fastball, and it doesn't really move. It's right over the middle of the plate, and you can see it hit the fence or the railing up there.
4-0 Boston. And here's Pedroia, who hit the first of the 3 Boston home runs in the first inning. Foul to the screen. All year long, John Farrell's been waiting for this lineup to wake up and start producing the way it did last year. And maybe the 11-run outburst yesterday got the Red Sox on their way. They've certainly been swinging it well here today. Fly ball to right field. Grossman hustling in, and he's there for the catch, 1 away. And now let's go to Audra Martin.
Well, guys, if you ever wanted to make sure that a player gets your piece of fan mail, you should try sending it on a potato. Yes, I'm not kidding. There's actually a company called Potatogram that sends messages on potatoes through the mail. And a few weeks ago, a Twins fan sent one to Irvin Santana with his picture on one side and his "Smell Baseball" slogan on the other. And Santana loves it. He has no idea who sent it to him, but he loves it. So he's kept it in his locker the last couple of weeks. Maybe it's good luck, and maybe if it is good luck, it will kick in here today, guys.
Never heard of a Potatogram, have you?
No, I haven't.
A Candygrams.
I know this might surprise you, but I don't really intend to be sending a lot of Potatograms.
Really?
No, I like eating.
Nothing. I'd say there's nothing better than a good baked potato, but there are a lot of things better than a good baked potato. To the left field corner, tracked by Rosario, and that's out number 2. And that'll bring up Benintendi. But baked potatoes are really good. You eat the skins?
I do.
Oh, I love the skins. It's the best part.
The healthiest part for you.
Well, it depends. Now, if you put like ½ pound of butter on it, that stops being so healthy for you.
There's more nutrients. It's all starch. Starch turns to sugar. So really,
so it's good for you.
Well, it's good for kids that need a little bit of energy. For you and I at our age and our girth, might not be so much.
Okay. 1-0 to Benintendi. We're going to Chicago. What about barbecued ribs? Are they good for you?
Sounds like I've got your dinner plans down.
You got me hungry. 1-1 to Benintendi. Off the end of the bat, 1-2. Twins have an off day tomorrow. Then they go to Chicago for the second time. 3 games there, then 3 in Cleveland. So it's back to the American League Central after stepping out on this homestand. And of course, first stepping out of the division down in Texas. 2-2. The Twins have done all right within the division. They're playing .500 baseball within the American League Central, and the only lopsided season series so far, the 3 that they lost to Cleveland here at Target Field. Popped up behind second base. And Polanco is there to make the catch. Betts leads off the inning with a home run, but then Santana gets the next 3 men.
In the bottom of the 5th inning, we're in the Minnesota State Lottery Winners Circle with the birthday boy, Keith from Shevlin. Happy birthday. Lifelong Twins fan. Not a bad way to celebrate the birthday.
That's a good day.
First game of the year?
First game of the year, yeah. Right.
Well, hopefully it turns around.
For sure, yeah.
But either way, you are going to walk home with $100 worth of scratch-off tickets. Maybe you can treat the family to dinner tonight. But we'll send you these tickets, $100 worth of scratch-off tickets brought to you from the lottery. So enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Well, thank you.
And enjoy being circled.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Guys, back to you.
Yeah.
Jimenez skies one down the left field line and out of play. Jimenez, I think, thought that ball was a harmless fly ball. Wind not doing much of anything, but that ball kept drifting back into the seats.
Yeah, it's hit way up there.
Jimenez threw his bat away and had his head down like, oh, I popped the thing up. But the ball a couple rows back in the seats, he's still got an at bat. Doubled to left his first time up, then Rosario and Buxton.
Chris Jimenez was 2 for 4 coming into today's game. Got the first hit off of Chris Sale.
And they're saying he got hit by a pitch. Jimenez stood there and I don't think argued the point. And John Farrell saying, hold on, we'll take a look at it and see whether it did hit him or not. Jimenez pointing down to his right leg. Clipped his uniform pants apparently. And unless there's an angle that shows space between the path of the ball and his uniform pants, check it here. Ooh.
How do you decide?
And how do you even hear? Huh. Well, the Twins get a base runner, and it's a leadoff base runner. Here's Rosario.
That's a veteran move right there. Veteran move.
Rosario, as we said, has handled left-handers better than the other lefties the Twins have. He's also had great success against Sale. Came into the game 4 for 5 against him without a strikeout. And so what happened in the second inning?
Yeah.
Sale struck him out.
Gas.
Driven foul.
Well, Sale's starting to use some of the other secondary pitches. He came out humping it up with the fastball early, and he was touching the high 90s. Struck out Vargas and Sano with 96, 97.
Off the knuckles and down for a hit. Jimenez to second. That'll be far enough for him, and Rosario didn't hit it well. But he now is 5 for 7 against Chris Sale.
Well, this is the kind of inning that the Twins have had against Chris Sale. And you put together a couple well-hit balls, and the sky has kind of fallen on Chris Sale a few times. The ball just ate up Eddie Rosario's bat, but it found a little opening out there in the left field grass.
And now Buxton, who struck out his first time up. Buxton held out of the lineup, of course, because of concussion-like symptoms. He's passed all the concussion tests, but he came to the ballpark here on Friday with headaches. And so what happens? He gets put back into the lineup against a guy who gives everybody headaches.
Yeah, and he's now 2 for 11 off Chris Sale.
And hit an inside the park home run against Sale last year in Chicago. Corner infielders are playing up, expecting a bunt. Buxton swings and misses. Buxton, then Adrianza, then the lineup turns over to Grossman. And Leone to the mound.
The guy was just out there.
Buxton had a number of dangerous plays out in center field, colliding with the wall, knocking the bullpen door open. And then a few plays later.
Yeah, this is the one that gave him a little whiplash, banged his head. You can see and hit that padding that really probably isn't padded all that well.
Now scoring to bunt. And juggled by Marrero, and Buxton should get a bunt single, and they're loaded up now for Adrianza.
Well, to quote Gerard Dyson, that's what speed do. And that's why it's so important for Byron Buxton just to be able to do that once in a while. This is not a drag bunt. This is a sacrifice bunt, but see that he puts it down in a really good location, puts a tremendous amount of pressure on a charging Marrero, and Buxton's well on his way to getting a base hit there.
We have not seen Buxton bunt that way very often. Usually his bunts, particularly with a left-hander on the mound, is the push bunt to the right side. Now they're loaded up, nobody out, and here's Ray Adrianza. And he takes a breaking ball over the inside corner. Took a breaking ball for a called third strike in the third.
Well, the Twins just haven't had a whole lot of opportunities. This being the first one. Put a little pressure on Chris Sale.
Another one for strike 2. And Sale, who went through the lineup the first time and struck out 7 batters, finds himself in a situation where he really needs a strikeout. And he's ahead of Adrianza, 0-2. 97 away.
That's all he had. He left it all out there right there, hoping that he'd chase up and away.
Fouled back. Again at 97.
Welcome to the big leagues, Gary. You get in, you get to face 97.
1-2 from Sale. And now 2-2.
Good take right there.
And to your point earlier, situations like this is where the Twins have had their best at bats against Sale. This is the first real scoring opportunity they've had.
Yeah, he's been on cruise control, and now he's going to have a little pressure put on him and see how he handles it.
And Adrianza checked his swing, made contact to stay alive. And whether it's a gapper, a broken bat single, they've found a way in situations like this to do damage against a guy who is as nasty as they come.
So many times they've found holes, and it's really frustrated Sale. A lot like Rosario's base hit.
Another 2-2 and another foul ball.
Work the pitch count. 74 pitches now, 50 strikes.
And this threat has been put together by the bottom of the lineup. Jimenez being touched by the pitch. Rosario with a little doink to left, a bunt single. And now Adrianza battling Chris Sale. A high fly to the right field corner. Chased by Betts. There's the catch. Front two runners tag, and the Twins are on the board. Nice at bat, particularly falling behind Sale 0-2, and he ended up getting something he could lift to the outfield.
Yeah, that was a great at bat right there, picking up his first RBI for the Twins.
Rosario to third, Jimenez home, Buxton remaining at first for the time being, and now here's Grossman.
Here's the pitches that Chris Sale threw to Adrianza right there.
And now Grossman, who was called out on strikes in the first, drew a walk in the third. Driven to the right field corner, but twisting foul. Grossman, of course, has always been a better right-handed hitter than left. He's not had much success, though, against Chris Sale. 0 for 1 today. 1 for 8 with 4 strikeouts against Chris Sale in his career.
So you're saying he's due?
I'm saying the Twins, if they want to come back and win this game, they need to get Rosario in from third base here.
Yeah. Peck away and get halfway back to getting even.
1 strike. Checked his swing and took it just off the plate. That changeup is so tantalizing. Just off the corner.
Good take.
Now over for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Well, that's what made Sale such a strikeout type of pitcher this year, is his selection of pitches. He's thrown a lot of good quality breaking balls, change-ups, and then that high gas that's really up and away most of the time to right-handers.
Very high. Buxton nearly drawing a throw from Leone. 2-2.
Buxton doesn't seem to be all that concerned about, or excuse me, Sale doesn't seem to be all that concerned about Buxton at first base. Kind of wonder if maybe Paul might send him in this count just to stay out of the double play possibility.
And Grossman waits on the off-speed pitch and flicks it foul.
He's always complimented in how well Grossman's ability to put the ball in play. But it's a little different situation with Sale and his strikeout guy.
Twins have scored a run without a well-hit ball. They can sure use one here off the bat of Grossman. Back. Pitch count, as you said, climbing now to 81. Looked like Sale would be in position to pitch deep into the ball game, but here in the 5th inning, only 1 out on the board and a lot of pitches thrown. Another 2-2. Checked his swing, and now it's a full count. And now I would think Buxton would take off. Grossman, through his career and again this year, has balanced walks and strikeouts pretty closely. That one just missing the upper shelf.
Yep, getting a break there.
keep one eye on Buxton here on the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. And Buxton, who was not going, will walk to second base, and they are reloaded for Polanco.
Second walk for Grossman here, and it's almost identical. This one off the plate more, but another changeup. Carl Willis, pitching coach, out to the mound. Not sure what he really can say to Chris Sale.
Polanco's hit the ball hard twice against Sale today. Doesn't have anything to show for it. A drive to the gap in right center that was caught by Betts on the run. And then he chased Benintendi to the end of the edge of the warning track in front of the bullpen in the third. Twins hoping that they are in the process of building one of those innings that they've built frequently against Sale. So far, just one run on the board.
Well, the infield's going to play at double play depth. Outfield pretty much straight away. I mentioned Polanco's hit the ball hard twice to center field.
Low, ball 1. Bases full of Twins. This will be the 85th pitch of the ball game. 25 this inning. To left center field and down for a hit. It'll score 2 runs, and it's 4-3.
Well, that's making the best out of your opportunities right there. Polanco is hitting the ball hard twice. That one wasn't hit well. Might even broke his bat, but it found a hole in left field and easily scores Rosario and Buxton.
So 3 spots so far. The tying run at second with only 1 out. And now Miguel Sano.
And it kind of wakes up the home crowd here. Robbie Grossman only goes to second base. Runners on first and second.
Sano with a strikeout and a pop-up. Came into the game 6 for 10 against Sale. Inside to the backstop. And the tying run is 90 feet away. That looked like a whiff by Leon.
Be a pass ball.
The ball's got to be caught, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And they're going to rule it a pass ball.
And now, if the big man can make contact, get it out of the infield. 2-0.
Well, this is such an indication of where Miguel Sano's at. We've seen so much where this is where he wants to be a hero so bad that he'll swing and chase out of the zone. And to take that last pitch, good indication that he's seen it so much better and willing to do whatever he can to make this happen.
3-0. Of course, now a base is open and Vargas is on deck. 3 hits, a walk, a sacrifice fly. 3-0 to Miguel Sano. Ripped down the line, foul.
.30 changeup.
Inside, they're loaded. And who would have thought after the first 4 innings that in the 5th the Red Sox would be firing up their bullpen.
Well, I think there's a lot of Twins hitters that might have thought that could happen. Certainly Irvin Santana is welcoming it.
Heath Embry warming up. Vargas has struck out twice swinging. Two for 12 against Sale with 7 strikeouts. Ball 1, and Sale reacting to not getting the corner called.
Take a look at it.
1-0 to the right field corner. Betts chasing it, making the catch. Front 2 runners will tag, and the Twins have tied it up.
Now another quality at bat for Kenny Vargas there, being able to lift the ball deep enough to allow Robbie Grossman to score from third with the tying run. And the Twins aren't done yet. Escobar is going to have a chance now with a runner at third to maybe give Urban the lead that he's been waiting for.
9th man to bat this inning. Escobar with a swinging strikeout and a ground out. And look at the pitch count for Sale, 92. Both outs this inning have been productive outs, driving in a run. Escobar takes a breaking ball, strike 1.
You know, we've seen this kind of inning before, though, off Chris Sale. Eddie Rosario got it started with a little looper to left field, base hit after Jimenez got hit by a pitch.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Buxton gets on first base by trying to sacrifice a bunt, putting pressure on the third baseman Marrero, who whiffed on the ball. And Grossman walks. Polanco, broken bat, kind of a seeing eye base hit to left field. Another walk. Twins have got 4.
0-2 to Escobar. And Sano takes off for second base, and Escobar lifts it foul. Leon giving signs in front of home plate. Let's have Polanco and some speed at third base. Oh, 0-2. And now 1-2. .96 pitches in the game for Sale. .35 pitches this inning. And Escobar, like so many hitters this inning, with 2 strikes, doing a nice job wasting pitches.
Yeah, building that pitch count. This will be more than likely his last inning, maybe his last hitter. And you got to give the Twins credit. You mentioned pitch count, 36 pitches this half inning.
1-2 to Escobar. And the slowest pitch of the inning ends the inning. The Twins score 4 times. We've got a new game heading to the 6th. Sports North is presented by State Farm. Combine auto and renters and see how much you can save. The Red Sox got their 4th run in the top of the 5th, but the Twins answer with 4 in the bottom of the inning. And now Hanley Ramirez, who has walked twice against Irvin Santana, will lead off the 6th. In the dirt, ball 1.
We look up at the scoreboard and the numbers are almost identical. Both teams with 4 hits, both teams with 4 runs. Twins have left 3 on base, or 4 on base, and the Red Sox have left 3. Now what we're going to see is who's in the best shape of these two pitchers. Both guys pitch count getting up there. What do they have left in the tank? How much longer will they go? It could be already over for Sale.
The Boston bullpen has shut things down for the time being. Ramirez with 2 walks, and it'll be Moreland and Young to face Irvin Santana, who fell behind Ramirez here 2-0. And now 3-0.
It's been a long half inning for Irvin, sitting there as the Twins put up a 4 spot in their bottom half of the 5th inning. And he's got to come out and throw strikes. These are the pivotal innings where your team gets you back in the game. You cannot afford free passes like that right there.
4 in a row off the plate, and the leadoff man is on. We'll bring up Moreland.
He's had 3 walks in the game, all to Hanley Ramirez.
59% strike percentage for Santana. And now here's Moreland, who reached on a fielder's choice and struck out.
Twins are going to play Moreland straight away.
Squib towards short, and Polanco looked at second but threw to first. Hit off the end of the bat. I don't know, was there a play at second base or not?
Well, it looked like Adrianza had a tough time getting there quick enough, and he, it was going to be one of those plays where he probably could have got it, but Polanco took a look and decided that Ramirez was too far up the line and took the sure out.
Chris Young 0 for 2. Grounder to third and a pop up to first. Young making back-to-back starts. He'd only started 1 game in the last 2 weeks for Boston. Chopped up the line towards Sano, barehanded. Wow. Firing. What a play! What a play by Miguel Sano, and a tag put on by Vargas, and the Red Sox want to take a look at it. What an incredible arm by Miguel Sano.
Well, the question really is, did Kenny Vargas tag him? Because it looked, and I'm sure that's what John Farrell was concerned about, and they're not going to argue it.
Did Vargas tag him? Did he still have his foot on the bag?
He took his foot off, but got him on the leg.
That is a hard ball to barehand.
Oh, my.
I mean, that ball was bouncing. It wasn't just rolling. So a big out, with Ramirez still at second base.
Let's just see this whole play as it develops. Ball's just barely getting down the line. Snow's playing way back. Makes a high throw. Vargas comes off the bag. He's got to catch it first.
Up the play at first base by Kenny Vargas today.
Yeah, he's been great. Tags him clearly out.
So now Sandy Leon with the go-ahead run at second and 2 away. Breaking ball over the inside corner.
There's some activity now in the Twins bullpen, so with the pitch count at 89, this may be the last half inning for Irvin. Paul Molitor and Neil Allen would love to see him get an out here.
One strike to Leon. Nice block by Jimenez. 1-1. And he pitches for Santana, and Tyler Duffy's getting loose.
And it shows where his stock is now in the Twins bullpen, these close games. Paul Molitor not afraid to go to Duffy.
Red Sox bashed their way to their 4 runs. The Twins tied it up by just pinging and blooping and chipping the ball in 1 inning.
And a couple walks.
And a couple of walks.
Those walks can really come back to haunt you. One of them scored, but the other one created an opportunity.
Leon lifts it to right. Back is Grossman at the wall. Gone. A home run for Sandy Leon. The 4th home run hit against Santana today. A leadoff walk and a 2-out home run, and the Red Sox are back in front.
You're watching the reaction from Irvin. He was not happy with that one. You could see it was left right over the middle. Can't be center cut any better than that. And he was just hoping that it would stay in the park. I think he was a little surprised that it carried as far as it did.
I was surprised. Santana almost looked like he was starting his walk to the dugout after the 3rd out.
You can see Leon was out in front of it a tad, but he did put the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Well, the Red Sox with 4 home runs, again coming into the game today with the fewest home runs in the American League. Popped up to Vargas. And there's the 3rd out. Suddenly the Twins have more work to do as they trail 6-4.
Field. To start off the game, we introduced you to 2 youngsters, Lauren and Archer, who are taking in their very first baseball game ever. So we thought it'd be fun to catch back up with these 2, see how you guys are enjoying the game. Lauren, how's the day going so far?
Good.
What's been your favorite part?
Eating junk food.
Junk food? What kind of junk food?
Well, cotton candy, Dippin' Dots, Gatorade, a lot of other stuff.
That sounds awesome. How about you, Archer? What's been the best part? Everything? You got a foam finger. That's pretty fun. Being camera shy. Mom, let me ask you a question. It's their first game. We all know how special baseball can be for families. How great has this been to experience their first game?
This is fantastic. It's just what memories are made of. So we're having a great time.
It's a beautiful day to play ball.
Not too bad, right? Well, thanks for helping us with the broadcast today, guys. We certainly appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you at another game soon, right?
Yes.
Guys, we'll go back up to you.
Chris Jimenez, a leadoff man here in the 6th inning, who had a double and started the 4-run 5th by being brushed by a pitch, strikes out, and Sale's been staked to his 2nd lead of the ballgame.
And that'll make it 6 consecutive starts for Chris Sale with 10 strikeouts or more.
Here's Eddie Rosario, going to single to left. last inning. There's another pop-up down the left field line on a long run for Chris Young, and he can't get there as the ball falls in foul territory. Only in Minnesota can you find more than 10,000 excuses to drop a line, relax, and catch a variety of fish in lakes, streams, and the river too. Minnesota's great fishing is made possible by its many diverse bodies of water. The land of 10,000 lakes has more shoreline than California, Florida, and Hawaii combined. Plus, you can plan your next fishing adventure at exploreminnesota.com and follow along on social media using hashtag #OnlyInMN. One strike to Eddie Rosario. Chases a high fastball, and now it's 0-2.
A lot of folks anticipating a couple days from now where the Minnesota fishing opener starts.
Yeah, next Saturday. Rosario, then Byron Buxton as the Twins try to follow up a long 5th inning with some damage here in the 6th. On the ground, backhanded by Bogarts. Airborne on target, and Rosario's down for out number 2. Follow Twins baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today, your #1 app for live baseball. 2 down quickly here in the 6th inning, and now Buxton put down a bunt and ended up with a base hit his last time up. Breaking ball missing the outside corner, ball 1.
The Red Sox spotted Chris Sale with 2 more runs to work with. John Farrell has enough confidence in him to send him back out there. Pitch count already over 100, 106, I believe, 107. And yet that ability to get that extra inning out of him might be the difference in this game.
Buxton hits a towering fly to left. Back is Young, making the catch near the edge of the track. The Twins go down 1-2-3. And you're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. They have 10 runs on the board on the Grand Casino story of the game, right?
It's been a story of home runs for Boston. Pedroia, Benintendi, and Betts, all with home runs for Boston. Twins found a way to tie the game back up by clearing a few base hits and a couple timely, well-placed balls in the outfield. Ties it up after 5 innings, and then in the top of the 6th. That one swing right there by Sandy Leon puts 2 more on the board. Chris Sale comes out, finishes the 6th inning with a 1-2-3 inning, and now Tyler Duffy will come over to take over for Ervin Santana. Santana's numbers are 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 6 runs all earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts.
Came into the game with just 3 runs allowed and 2 home runs allowed, and the Red Sox get 6 and 4 against him. Mookie Betts had 2 hits, including a home run, his last time up. And that breaking ball that bites over the inside corner, strike 1. Betts, Pedroia, and Bogaerts here in the Boston 7th. There is no activity in the Boston bullpen. Backstop 1-1.
Well, that's an indication of not only the confidence that John Farrell has in Chris Sale. He's at 105, 106 pitches right now. And his durability. We talked about it earlier. This guy throws a lot of pitches, and yet he throws a lot of innings.
Didn't mean to, and Duffy has to scramble. Nice backhanded pickup. Then he throws a sinker to Vargas. 1 down. In Sale's last start, he threw 115 pitches. And the Red Sox, although they have an off day tomorrow, they feel comfortable letting him go.
There is about 100 years of baseball generations that threw 115 pitches. That's what starters did. You know, the number for me was always about 110 to 115, 120 sometimes. And then the managers would evaluate what you had left in the tank.
And even when the Twins got their 4 runs, it's not like they were hitting rockets all over the ballpark. Just off the plate, ball 1 to Pedroia. Started the scoring with a 1-out home run in the first. Since then, a strikeout and a flyout.
Irvin's 3rd time in his career where he's allowed 4 home runs in a game. The last time was May 23rd of 2013. So it's been a while since we've witnessed as many home runs as Irvin's given up today.
Taylor Rogers warming up in case Benintendi hits here in the 7th. 2-1.
Well, the Twins can't surrender any more runs. That's a given. They're going to have to hope for a couple innings where they can put something together and tie this game back up.
On the outside corner, 2-2. And Pedroia waits and fouls it.
Duffy doing a nice job of taking a little bit off that last pitch. That's a pitch that he didn't have when he came to the big leagues, an off-speed changeup. You know, Tyler's been working on that. It's really his 3rd pitch. It's pretty much fastball, breaking ball.
Line into the netting above the Twins dugout. Still 2-2. We had one of these a couple years ago when I was working with you, but we were all thinking, all right, 1-0 10-inning victory for somebody today, and 10 runs are up on the board, and we're only in the 7th.
Yeah, I think this is more common than you would expect in these type of deals. I think what happens is both pitchers get a little overamped for these situations.
Polanco with a chest high hop over to Vargas, 2 down. And before Bogaerts bats, you can build your target field schedule with the Flex Plan. Get 20 tickets to use any way you'd like. 10 games with a friend, 5 games with 4, any combination that adds up to 20. Plus your tickets are discounted, and so is your food and beverage. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/flex. 2 down here in the 7th, and now Bogaerts 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Breaking ball for a strike. Whether it's the fact that he's moved to the 3rd base side of the rubber or not, we're seeing more and more right-handed batters do what Bogaerts just did.
Well, in a way, he's a lot like Chris Sale from the other side. He has a little bit of a sidearm 3/4 type delivery, so he's got a good arm slot. And when he moves over on the 3rd base side, and Chris Sale throws from the 1st base side, it increases that angle for the arm side guy in the batter's box. And you saw the reaction from Bogaerts on that 1st pitch.
Yeah, he backed away and it broke right over the plate.
Yep.
2 strikes to Bogaerts. Did he go? No, says first base umpire Mike DeMuro. 1-2.
And that was close. Looked to me like he did go.
Popped up. It'll reach the seats.
I think Duffy could really lock up Bogaerts here with a fastball in that sinks a little bit, comes back in. He's staying open a little bit longer, a little bit more after that first pitch from Duffy, but he's still a guy that likes to dive out over the plate a little.
Driven to the gap in left center field and trouble. Buxton made it look easy, cutting it off in the gap, and Duffy has a 1-2-3 7th inning. A glorious afternoon here at Target Field, and a good ball game with the Twins down 6-4. And it's our pleasure to bring you God Bless America.
Fans, please rise and welcome the Lincoln High School Choir from Des Moines, Iowa, under the direction of Christian White, as they lead us in the singing of God Bless America.
Brought to you by T-Mobile, and the soap opera continues with the Mets. Matt Harvey wasn't at the ballpark yesterday. He said he had a migraine. He showed up today expecting to start, and instead he got slapped with a 3-game suspension for violating team rules. 2 more long balls for Giancarlo Stanton. And the Padres were rained out in San Diego. The June gloom that they get in San Diego apparently hitting early in the month of May. Right here at 6-4. And Chris Sale is done. And Heath Hembree coming in to pitch for the Red Sox. Ray Adrianza will hit left-handed against Hembree. Tried to drop down a bunt, offered at it, strike one. Hembree had been really good in terms of not giving up runs or hits. Opponents hitting .224, 5 walks, 14 2/3, and a lot of strikeouts, more than one per inning. That to left center field, and Bogarts retreats a few steps to make the catch one away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent to the Minnesota Twins.
And now Robbie Grossman will hit left-handed. When the Red Sox took Sale out of the game, and they do have a couple of left-handed relievers, Abad and Scott, but that sets up the Twins to go to their bench that includes today Kepler, Mauer, and Castro, all left-handed batters. We don't expect Dozier to come off the bench and play in any capacity if the Twins wanting to extend his time out through tomorrow's off day. And there's Robbie Scott warming up.
Scott threw in the game the other day and did a very nice job.
One strike to Grossman, who takes strike two.
Well, believe it or not, that was probably the worst start for Chris Sale this year. He goes 6 innings and allows 4 earned runs. He did only walk 2 guys and got his 10 strikeouts. You see the bullpen ERAs. Boston's done a very good job.
Chipped foul. Two strikes to Grossman. 2 strikes, and the Red Sox put a pull shift on for Grossman.
And they got Moreland almost guarding the line there.
Check swing.
What I like about what Boston's done in these situations is it doesn't matter if it's Porcello or who it is. When they get that pull shift on with a couple strikes, and that's when that third baseman moves over, they're pitching the guy in, giving him no chance to try to shoot that ball the other way. They've got to try to pull the ball. So they're pitching him to the shift the way it should be done.
2 strikes to Grossman. Another foul. That's why for the last couple of years, as Danny Santana continued to struggle with 2 strikes, Paul Molitor kept saying, go ahead and drop down a bunt. Third baseman, whether right-handed or left-handed, 2 strikes and you're very strikeout prone anyway. There's nothing wrong with trying to bunt. Now, I'm not recommending that here for Grossman, but if he can just push the ball, even with a full swing on the left side, he should get a base hit. And instead, they come inside and get a swinging strike 3. 2 down, and that'll bring up Polanco.
Very good breaking ball from Hembree on this last pitch. You see the location. Breaks, starts in the strike zone, breaks down out of the strike zone, and Grossman already committed. Really nothing he was going to be able to do with that pitch.
Carrier bringing you Fox Tracks. 2 down, and here's Polanco. Hit the ball hard twice against Chris Sale for outs, and then he didn't hit it hard and got a 2-run single. Sale's ERA now over the last couple of years against the Twins dropped to 6.75. Twins got 4 earned runs against him in 6 innings here today. 1-0. And up the line foul, 1-1.
And unfortunately, Irvin Santana is going to have a little bit higher ERA after today's outing too.
Twins had their big inning against Sale, but as of right now, he would be the pitcher of record, and he'd get a win out of this ball game here today.
And both starters are the pitcher of record as it stands right now.
1-1 to Polanco with Sano on deck. Popped up, chased by Marrero near the tarp, and no play.
Well, we have an excellent crowd here today. They certainly got excited in the 5th inning, bottom of the 5th inning, where the Twins put 4 on the board to tie the game. It's been kind of quiet. Immediately, the Red Sox responded with that 2-run home run from Sandy Leon, put him back on top. Great day for baseball.
Maybe they'll get excited here again in the late innings. Twins have had 1 walk-off win already in this series Friday night with the Mauer home run. 1-2 to Polanco.
The Twins haven't seen their closer, Boston's closer, Craig Kimbrell, yet.
And Polanco keeps this inning alive with a looping single to center. And that'll get Sano to the plate as the tying run. Good day at the plate for Polanco.
Great day for Polanco, and so important to get on the base in front of Sano in these close ball games. You just always feel like Sano and even Kenny Vargas, but especially Miguel Sano, the way he's been swinging there to start the season, that one swing of the bat can tie it. He's got the ability to leave anywhere in this ballpark.
And Sano struck out in the 1st, popped up on the first pitch he saw in the 4th, then drew a walk to fill the bases in the 5th. Down and in, ball 1. You were talking about Sano wanting to be the guy to produce in situations and at times being overeager. That's not uncommon. The guy's, what, 23 years old. But every time he's in situations like this will help him long term, don't you think?
No question. What's going to happen and what turns a great player.
There's a ball hit down the right field line deep to the corner. And this one foul.
What happens is a player, as he develops into a great player, will realize in these kind of at-bats, especially the last at-bat that he had against Sale, where he took a walk, and this at-bat right here where the game's on the line again, is that they're only looking for one pitch and they won't miss it. That's the key. The great hitters work to a count where they know that they're going to get a hittable pitch and they don't miss their hittable pitch.
Sano struck out to end the ball game here Thursday. Twins almost came back to sweep the A's, filling the bases in the 9th inning. Sano is 2 for 2 with a double and a home run in his prior meetings with Embry.
Matt Barnes now joins Robbie Scott out there in the Boston bullpen.
Off the plate, 2-1. The Twins are hoping that Sano will continue to have success against the Boston right-hander. Big swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
That ball had a little giddy up on it, 97 mile an hour, and down in the zone.
And if he throws it there again, I don't think
he's going to make a good living if he can stay right there with that velocity.
2-2 to Miguel Sano. And Sano on 1 out over the plate gets a piece.
Well, Embry, you can see he's got a live arm and he's going to challenge Sano. These are the battles that a lot of young players have when they get to the big leagues. They feel like, yeah, well, this guy's hot. We know he's hot. He's hit a lot of balls hard, but I'm better than he is, and I'm going to show him I'm better than he is. And that's why you have mistakes being made.
Well, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. A cutter that he left right over the heart of the plate. And Sano sent it straight back to the screen. He got away with one.
Yes, he did. Trouble is, Sano swung so hard he wanted to hit that ball out of the stadium, which I believe at some point he will do.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because I think so too. Hit to center.
off the end.
Right to the center fielder, Benintendi. Twins get a man aboard. We head to the 8th. Still 6-4 Boston.
Studio Sports Update. It is time for the Twins to hit the road, and they'll take on a division rival. Join us Tuesday night at 6:30. Our coverage begins as the Twins visit Chicago to take on the White Sox on Fox Sports North.
Miguel Sano just missed off the end of the bat, tying the game up. The Twins will try to get him to the plate again, maybe in the 9th inning. It's a 6-4 ball game. And now Taylor Rogers comes out of the Twins bullpen.
Oh, good inning. Solid inning for Tyler Duffy. 3 up, 3 down. Now they're going to turn it over to the left-hander, Taylor Rogers.
Left-handed hitting Benintendi. And right-hand hitting Hanley Ramirez. Then another lefty, Mitch Moreland. Benintendi, 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run, will stand in.
Benintendi has not seen Taylor Rogers yet. There haven't been a matchup.
Breaking ball down and away.
This guy does so many things correctly at the plate, though. His body is under control.
Outside again, 2-0. Rogers has missed twice with breaking pitches. Red Sox leading 6-4, but they have just 5 hits. The problem is 4 of them have gone for home runs. Betts got a single back in the 2nd inning. It's the only Boston hit that hasn't left the yard. Three and 1 from Rogers to Benintendi. Man, what a hitter. Into the left field corner, and he'll have an extra base hit. And if it's not hustled back to the infield, he's going to have a triple. Big turn at second. It's a leadoff double for Andrew Benintendi.
He does so many things right at the plate. He puts himself in a situation where he's has a good chance to make contact. That ball was left up middle of the plate up, but look at how still everything is, where his head is relative to the baseball. Like Roy says, straight to the ball, no loop in the swing, no big swing. When he loads, it's quick.
A little dialogue between Dan Iasanya and Paul Molitor. I think the Twins are going to appeal that Benintendi missed first base. So Rogers will need to step off the rubber and throw to first. And they say the first base umpire, Mike DeMuro, says he did touch first base. Let's see if we can pick up what the Twins thought they saw. Just got the corner.
That's all you need to get.
You'd like to think that umpires are watching for that, but of course the Twins dugout's looking for that too. Someone's job there is to watch and make sure that everybody touches all the bases.
What we need to let the fans know is that was some video from yesterday.
Everybody was touching first base yesterday. One strike to Hanley Ramirez. From here, the Red Sox go to Milwaukee. They've got an off day tomorrow, and then they play an interleague series, and they expect to have Hanley Ramirez play first base in that series.
Yeah, Boston's done a good job in interleague. They're 5-1. Twins have yet to play an interleague game this year.
It'll change when we get home and take on the Colorado Rockies, who will be playing by American League rules. Ramirez with some discussion with Dan Iasanya, and it's 0-2.
Ramirez has walked 3 times, so he's not used to balls in the strike zone today.
Rogers tried to pitch around the leadoff double. And Benintendi to third, and the pitch is in the dirt.
Great base running right there. Rogers didn't take the second look.
Stolen base on a breaking ball in the dirt. It's 1-2, and now the Twins may have to shorten up the infield.
Catch the pitcher kind of daydreaming out there. Rogers more concerned about the hitter at the plate than the runner at second.
Field in about halfway. 1-2. On the outside corner, Ramirez just walks away. One down. That'll bring up Moreland. Potentially a huge strikeout because Rogers has struggled against right-handed batters, and this guy's a good one. And for the time being, at least, Benintendi's left at third base.
Good location, and certainly Ramirez knew.
And now Moreland with the infield drawn in and one away. Breaking ball and strike one. Moreland 0 for 3, struck out in the third. And a base hit to center, and Benintendi will score. Moreland rolling one through the drawn in infield, and it's 7-4. And that'll bring up Chris Young and bring out Paul Molitor. Well, here's an oddity for Rogers, who struggled against right-handers. He got the right-hander but gave up hits to the 2 left-handers. So a rough outing for Rogers, and he'll come off the mound with the Red Sox already adding 1 run here in the 8th. building its second big lead. They had a 4-0 lead before the Twins tied it. And now 3 unanswered runs over the last few innings, and Ryan Presley will try to keep this a 7-4 ball game. So Presley's had a difficult time with left-handers and has given up 10 2/3 innings. He's given up 11 runs, 11 earned runs, and he's given up 3 home runs along the way. So he'll face Chris Young. 0 for 3 today, hasn't gotten a ball out of the infield, but he's had 3 big hits for the Red Sox in this series. The pinch hit single on Friday, 2 home runs yesterday. Young credited his ability to step in and get some productive hits, oddly enough, to David Price. Price is pitching simulated games and bullpen sessions along the way. Young's been the guy standing in the box, even though he hasn't played in games. He's watched Price throw, and in simulated games has had some at bats against him. And he says that's why he's been able to stay sharp, even though he hasn't had much playing time. 1-1. Up, and it's 2-1. Presley got a innings worth of work yesterday in the hopes that he can find something to feel confident about in his off-speed pitching.
Well, that's just it. Everybody kind of realizes how straight Presley's fastball is, and 96 in today's game is not all that tough to hit when it's straight, like that one right there.
That was 96, and it was down the middle, and it evens the count.
And straight as an arrow, no movement at all. And so it's so important for him to have a command of his secondary pitch, breaking ball, and then work on some kind of off-speed pitch, even though his secondary pitch is a little slower.
That was a good take by Young. That was one of his better breaking balls.
Yeah,
there.
but he just hasn't commanded it this year. And so you sit on the fastball and you wait for it somewhere up in the zone.
Full count, 1 down, and Moreland at first.
The thumb usually means throw to first, step off, whatever. Goes a breaking ball, the first pitch, then a fastball in. Jimenez looking over for another sign from Paul Molitor.
Full count to Young. And a foul ball. A quicker breaking ball, that cutter. Driven hard to left field. And hard off the base of the fence. Moreland rounding second. He'll hold up at third, and Young has another sharp base hit. A double against Ryan Presley.
Well, Ryan Presley, the previous pitch to the last one, shook until he got to his cutter. And his cutter isn't cutting. It's a cutless cutter. And we're going to watch it. This is 2 pitches ago right here. He calls for the cutter, and see how straight it is. Barely moves, stays right in the heart of the plate. Comes back to the same pitch in the same spot. You see the ball's just spinning, but it's not moving. And Young puts a good swing out of it.
Leone will get an intentional walk to fill the bases. And now Marrero at the plate, 0 for 3. Twins would love to get a strikeout or a ground ball double play here. It was 4-4. Then the Red Sox got 2 in the 6th, 1 so far here in the 8th. And the light hitting Devin Marrero has a chance to bust the game open. the outside corner. Sano at third, Vargas at first, about even with the bases. They get a ground ball. If it's hit sharply, they might go around the horn. If it's not hit sharply, they'll come home and get the force.
Right now, I think what we're seeing out of Presley, he just doesn't have enough confidence in his curveball to throw it for strikes. So he's going with basically fastball and a cutter that's not cutting. So basically he's going with a fastball, which is 95, 96, and the cutter is the same pitch, same basic straightness, but it's 92, 93. It just doesn't have a lot of weapons that he can feature right now.
Justin Haley, just activated today, is warming up behind Presley. One strike to Marrero. Hack toward first. Vargas comes home. Out there, relay to first. Double play, and another fine play turned in by Kenny Vargas. 3-2-3. Shades of Herbeck to Harper to Herbeck in Game 7 of 91.
As we head into the bottom of the 8th inning, stay with us after the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Anthony LaPanta and Roy Smalley will break down an uncharacteristic start from Ervin Santana. While the Twins managed another big inning against Chris Sale, we'll also wrap things up with the thoughts from Paul Molitor. And don't forget, afterwards, head to our Fox Sports North Facebook page for Twins Final Pitch, presented by Prism Research. We'll get a recap of today's game, and we'll look ahead to the series against the White Sox. Guys?
All right, Twins with some work to do. Matt Barnes coming out of the Boston bullpen to pitch to the Twins. Middle of the lineup in the 8th. Barnes was on the mound, gave up the walk-off home run to Joe Mauer on Friday. And he'll face Vargas, Escobar, Jimenez, perhaps, here in the 8th.
Well, they've got Kepler and Mauer and Castro, all left-handers on the bench that Paul might want to use in the situation.
1-0 to Vargas. Tied the game with a fly ball his last time up. And now a strike. Hit hard to left center field. This ball carrying deep. Vargas goes to the bullpen. And Barnes gives up another target field home run. Almost to the same spot where Mauers landed Friday night.
We talk all about Miguel Sano and his strength, and Kenny Vargas certainly has equal strength. I asked him the other day jokingly who would win an arm wrestling contest, him or Sano, and he said he would. You can see how he just loves the ball down from the left side, goes down after it. Breaking ball that just had a little spin on it is all it was, and shoots it all the way out into the bullpen area.
Well, here's Escobar. Barnes probably wondering where in the world can I throw the ball to the Twins left-handed batters and not give up a home run. His pitch to Mauer was up and away, and it was hit to the Twins bullpen, and that pitch down out of the strike zone, and Vargas hit it to almost the same spot. One strike to Escobar, and now on the outside corner 0-2. Escobar 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Sale. 1-2. The Twins finally getting the home run column here today after giving up 4 of them in this game. Escobar checks 2-2.
It's an important run. Vargas's home run, bloop and a blast. You know, staying within 2 and 3 is a big difference late in the game. And I know it doesn't sound like anything big, but it really can be a big game changer, because a walk or a pass ball and then one big swing can tie it up.
Well, on top of this inning, the Red Sox got the minimum out of the maximum. They got 2 doubles, a single, and a walk, and only got 1 run out of it. And so now you come back right away and you get that run back, and
the big man has had a pretty darn good day, Kenny Vargas.
3-2 now to Escobar.
Escobar having a good at bat here. Hasn't really had anything to show yet today. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Ball 4.
Good at bat.
Escobar was behind in the count 0-2. He ends up going to first with a walk, and it has been a very good day for Kenny Vargas.
Yeah, there's the home run swing right there that Kenny got. He got an RBI his previous at bat, but look what he's done defensively. We talk about the great defense from Joe Mauer all the time, but Vargas had a great day in the field today, covering some ground. This one right here is high throw from Sano. He's able to put the tag on Young, and he goes home to back to first for a double play there in the last half inning. So
you gotta get Vargas to do that Kent Hrbek Goldie shuffle after getting the return throw like Kent Hrbek did at 91.
It's not quite as significant a game yet, but maybe if we're all lucky, we'll see the boys in a big game later in the year sometime soon.
Big trip to the mound for Barnes. Jimenez will hit. Red Sox have a righty and a lefty warming up, so Jimenez will get the at bat here. May 16th, Scrubs night at Target Field. A limited number of Scrubs night theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a twin scrub top. Go to twinsbaseball.com/scrubs to learn more about the Scrubs night theme night offer. And now here's Jimenez. A double to the left field wall in the second, hit by a pitch and a run scored and a strikeout. Very high, ball 1. Barnes coming into the game with 6 walks in 13 innings, and a potentially costly walk, getting ahead of Escobar 0-2 before issuing the free pass. Now 1-0 to Jimenez. 2-0. Rosario waits on deck.
I think this is the biggest change that we've seen in the Twins so far this season, is their patience at the plate. They can be commended for just doing an excellent job of taking what the pitcher gives them, especially in situations where you get excited And you want to be the hero. The Twins have been patient and let the pitcher decide it.
And Jimenez chases.
Of course, I had to have that happen, right?
But you're right. I think we saw in the second half of the year last year, why in the world in a key spot would you, as a pitcher, throw a strike if you didn't need to? And so far, it's been a different approach. 2-1 to Jimenez. Fastball straight over the top delivery at 96, and it's 2-2.
Remember the old mechanical arm pitching machines called Iron Mikes? It's kind of what Barnes reminds me of. It is straight over the top, pretty straight fastball.
And a breaking ball. Taken for ball 3.
I think that was more of a case where he knew he couldn't hit it, so he might as well take it. That was a good breaking ball in a great spot, and tough for Jimenez to lay off of it, so he took it.
Full count to Chris Jimenez. Escobar goes, got a good break, and the pitch fouled back. Barnes held it for a long time, yet Escobar got a really good break from first base. Generally, the long wait by a pitcher, and the runners get a little flat-footed.
Well, watch Escobar in the corner there getting a good jump, and it's so important. Paul Molitor wants to get him to second base, avoid a double play situation.
The 3-2 coming to Jimenez. And Escobar looked like he was going to dive back in, then he stumbled back in. Escobar goes, and the pitch is high, and Barnes has entered the game and issued a home run and 2 walks. And the tying runs aboard. We'll see if the Twins make a move for Jimenez and pinch run for him. John Farrell out to go get a new pitcher.
Escobar upset Barnes right there. Took his focus away from Jimenez, and he ends up walking him. So the Twins again have an opportunity to get back in this game.
Boston's last game here at Target Field, and that's just fine with Matt Barnes. Trying to come back for the second time against the Boston Red Sox. They covered up an early 4-0 deficit with a 4-run fifth. Now 1 on the board here in the 8th. The tying runs are on, and Scott comes in. He had a good outing for the Red Sox here on Friday night faced 5 men, retired the ball. He got Rosario on a ground ball to first. And Rosario will be the man he'll face here with the tying run at first and nobody out.
Yeah, Robbie Scott pitched an inning and 2/3 in that opening game of the series with a couple of strikeouts.
And as we said, in the context of facing Chris Sale, of the Twins' left-handed batters, Rosario by far has had the most success this year. Got a hit against Sale. Now trying to get a bigger one here against Scott. Infield in at the corners. Ball 1 and the pickoff to second. Escobar back. Ball 1 to Rosario. Molitor giving signs to Gene Glenn, who gives them to the runners and the batter. .270 average against lefties.
Are you willing to give up an out for 2 runners in scoring position? That's the decision Paul has to make right here. Would he bunt him to try to move the runners up? Nobody out.
To the backstop. He won't have to.
That'll help. Again, looked like Leon was crossed up there, because that ball, even though it was outside, I mean, you don't let that ball get by you. It's going to go down as a wild pitch. Oh, it bounces. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So now the tying run at second. The Twins still not pinch running for Jimenez.
Well, this game certainly has been interesting. Twins golden opportunity again to tie this game.
2-0 to Rosario. Buxton on deck.
Eddie's swinging here.
Got a breaking ball. Tapped it foul. And it's 2-1.
This is the one guy with probably the least amount of patience. He wants to swing. He wants to drive in these runs.
Left-handed batters against Scott are just 1 for 13 this year. And a pitch inside, and it's 2-2.
Off-speed breaking ball. And his whole body was gone.
If he kept his body where it was, he might have been hit by the pitch.
Look at how he bails on this. Just his hips are gone.
Well, the Twins need contact here. Infield, middle infield back, and the right side of the infield playing back. See if Rosario can put it in play here and get the Twins to within 1 or tie it up. Fly ball right field, hitting deep, going back is Betts at the wall. He makes the catch. Both runners move up. Rosario showing some power. It looked like he was fooled on the pitch, and he sent it to the wall. Escobar scores. Jimenez to third, and here comes John Farrell.
Well, a sac fly RBI puts the Twins 90 feet away from tying this game again.
It's the third sacrifice fly of the ball game, and I think all 3 have come with 2 strikes.
Was that a strike?
In Eddie's mind? Yes.
You know what? It's what he did with it that matters.
Twins trying to come back a second time. They're within 1. Friday night, will try to deliver a big hit in the 8th inning here this afternoon. Kimbrel's been outstanding, retiring 30 of the last 32 batters. Buxton, the scheduled hitter, of course, very strikeout prone. Joe, the toughest player in the American League to strike out right now. And it won't take much to get this game tied with Jimenez, the runner at third and one away.
Yeah, the Twins are going to get a couple outs to try to score a guy from third base. Red Sox already showing their infield's going to play in and try to cut that runner if the ball's hit at a player in the infield. This is what it's all about right here. You get the best guy in their bullpen, Kimbrel, closer. I'm not sure what that's all about, but he's always done it, even when he was with the Braves.
Infield in. Mauer takes low, ball one. 99 miles per hour.
His percentage of swings and misses, Joe Mauer, the best in the game right now.
Mauer and Mookie Betts, the toughest batters in the American League to strike out. One strikeout every 13 at bats. 1-0. Checked his swing, or did he? He went. It's 1-1. Up here, it looked like he went. Yep. One and one to Mauer. Fastball taken for strike two.
Hardest pitch we've seen throw today right there. 98 mile an hour fastball from Kimbrel.
And time called. You said it, I think on the pregame show, but you said it off the air to me. Get matchups like this, Sale against Santana. Your prediction was it would come down to a battle of the bullpens. Now, I don't know that you expected the score to be 7-6, but here we are.
I'm not surprised by it, you know, but yeah, it typically does that. Starters usually, as we sit right now, they're both the pitchers of record, but that can change with the swing of the bat here from Joe Mauer.
One and two. And Mauer tried to turn around 99 and he fouled it.
Well, he wasn't behind it. Kimbrel coming right after him. The fastball down Broadway. Maybe I should change that phrase to down Main Street.
Hennepin Avenue.
How about Center Street? Because that's really what it is.
Another 1-2. Breaking ball wide of the plate, 2-2.
Well, this is exciting. For me, this is the kind of matchups that make it all worthwhile. The fans are showing their appreciation for what the Twins have done to come back into this game.
2-2 to Mauer. 3-2. Adrianza on deck.
Twins still have Max Kepler and Jason Castro on the bench. Dozier probably wouldn't come in to face the right-hander. Kepler's got a bat in his hand, so maybe he will get the chance instead of Adrianza.
He's going to be in the game anyway with Buxton out of the game.
Yeah.
Full count to Mauer. And Joel fighting one off. Off-speed pitch near the outside corner. But if you pinch hit for Adrianza, doesn't that necessarily mean that Dozier's got to play in the field?
Yeah. You don't want Kenny Vargas to move over and let Joe go to first?
Another 3-2. Strike three on the outside corner, and Joe disagrees. A huge call, a big strikeout, and here comes Max Kepler.
Well, we're going to take a look at that last pitch. Joe, man, tough one to take. I think it went around the plate, though. You can see where the catcher, that's not a strike.
And some barking between the Twins bench. I think Paul Molitor and Dan Iasanya. Critical call. And Kepler will hit with the tying run at third and 2 away. The difference between the third walk of the inning. And now Kepler hitting for Adrianza. Swing and a miss, strike one. .5 strikeouts per 9 innings.
It takes him a week, 2 weeks to get 9 innings, but
Kepler swings and misses again at 99. And now what can Kepler do in a tough spot?
Well, we know one thing. Sano's going to get another chance in the 9th. But 90 feet away.
3 pitches, all 98 or 99. A strikeout of Kepler, but it's the strikeout of Mauer that turned the inning around. Blazing fastballs has left the Twins 1 run short. You're watching Twins baseball presented by State Farm. Here's how committed the Twins are to not playing Brian Dozier today. They've just lost their designated hitter for the balance of the game. Eduardo Escobar leaving the DH spot to take over at second base. And Matt Belisle coming in to pitch a scoreless top of the 9th. Mookie Betts will lead things off, then Pedroia and Bogarts against Belisle. Betts with 2 hits, including a home run. The Red Sox have hit 4 home runs in the game. And Vargas deflects it to Escobar. Belisle covering. Got him! Score it 3-4-1. And the Red Sox will take a look.
Well, great awareness from Matt Belisle to keep going over and cover in the bag. His job is to break to his left, and he does that. The ball's off Kenny Vargas, but Escobar grabs it. Looks like Belisle got stepped on there.
Red Sox won't challenge it. That's a great play, and the one ball that Vargas didn't make a play on, he deflected it to the second baseman. Betts retired. Here is Pedroia. Belt high strike. Kimbrel getting the last 2 outs of the 8th, and he'll be asked to get the 3 outs in the 9th as well. One and one. This has been nothing like the ball game we expected, but it sure has been fun.
Yeah, every inning it seems like since the 5th inning has been something you have to kind of wait and see how it's going to unfold.
1 and 1. Driven foul.
What's crazy is Chris Sale came out of the gates and it looked like he was going to throw a no-hitter. He strikes out 7 in the first 3 innings.
And an easy 4th inning. He only struck out 1, but 1, 2, 3. The Twins were back in the field before they could get settled in the dugout.
And the Twins did what they've done so many times. They ambushed him for 4 in the 5th. And then it's been up to the bullpens.
2 and 2 to Pedroia. And now 3 and 2. And a walk puts Pedroia aboard. Lots happened here today. Let's get caught up.
Pedroia with a first inning home run, then Benintendi following with his home run. Mookie Betts with a home run. Couple sac flies for the Twins. Polanco gets another base hit that drives in a run. A couple runs there. Kenny Vargas lifts one to right field. That another sac fly. Leon with a 2-run homer puts Boston back in front 6-4. Vargas hits one to the Twins bullpen out there in left center field. Rosario lifts the ball off the dirt. The Twins are 1 run away from tying this game.
And Belisle delivers up high to Bogaerts. Belisle has issued now 8 walks in 13 innings. Almost as many walks allowed as hits allowed. On the outside corner.
I just hope that walk right there to Pedroia doesn't come back to hurt the Twins.
So far, Bogaerts has been held hitless. And now a foul, 1 and 2. 1-2 to Xander Bogaerts. And he gets his first hit. Hard ground ball down the line. Rosario retrieves the throw, coming to third base, and safe, just barely, but the throw to third allows Bogaerts to take second base. And I think if Rosario had to do it over again, he'd have thrown to second. Keep the double play in order.
Yeah, I don't think Bogaerts was going to attempt second base, knowing the throwing arm of Eddie Rosario.
So a mistake by Rosario. And now the Twins have to bring the infield in to try to keep this a one-run game. The batter's Benintendi, and he already has 2 extra base hits.
And they're going to walk him, and I think that's a smart thing to do. Hanley Ramirez been around for a long time. He's walked 3 times and struck out, but they need a double play ball right here.
Yeah, Ramirez has had 4 plate appearances and has not put a ball in play. 3 walks and the strikeout in the 8th. Here comes Neil Allen to join the conversation just as Jimenez was ready to leave. And everybody else in the infield joins the meeting. Twins all but tied it up in the bottom of the 8th, but now the Red Sox with a big threat here in the top of the 9th. An unintentional walk, a double, and an intentional walk.
This has truly been a game of putting pressure on, back and forth. Both teams have done it.
Strike 1.
We're about 5 minutes away from shadows that could come across home plate. And with Craig Kimbrell throwing 100 miles an hour, that could be another factor in this game.
Presley got a big double play to end the 8th inning. Now Belisle trying to get one in the 9th. Base hit to left. Pedroia scores. Bogaerts will be held at third. And the lead is back to 2.
Well, we talked about Pedroia in that leadoff walk. He ends up scoring.
Pedroia in from third. The Red Sox still aren't done. Here's Moreland. An RBI single his last time up. Now the infield playing back, trying to get a conventional double play. Down the middle, a strike. Fouled away, 2 strikes.
Moreland has really taken some healthy hacks today.
To the right field corner, and the Red Sox busted open here in the 9th inning. Brian Butterfield with a late stop sign of Ramirez, but 2 runs score with Bogaerts and Benintendi each coming in on the second double of the inning. Five straight Red Sox batters have reached here in the 9th inning. And Belisle having a tough outing with 3 earned runs. Another double for Moreland, and he's now got 15 on the year. And he's leading the major leagues by a comfortable margin. Belisle had an outing on the last road trip in Texas, 2/3 of an inning and 5 earned runs allowed. And this one's kind of spinning out of control on him as well. Infield in again, and Young takes a strike.
Fourth reliever used by Paul Molitor in this game. Irvin Santana started, went 6. Duffy for an inning. Rogers and Presley for less than an inning apiece.
To the gap in right center. And Grossman can't haul that in. 2 more runs will score. And Belisle, for the second time here in the last 2 weeks, has given up 5 runs in a relief role. 6 straight Red Sox batters have reached. Three doubles in the inning, 2 walks, and a single. And Haley's getting loose for the second time tonight, as the Twins have seen the Red Sox busted open here. And that'll be the end of the day for Belisle. Haley will jump onto the active roster and into the game right away, with Belisle giving up 5 runs so far in the 9th. Yesterday, 12 today. This from a team that had really been struggling scoring runs, but they've teed off both on the Twins starter today and the bullpen.
Yeah, they've really spanked the ball around today. Justin Haley will be the 6th reliever for the Twins, 5th reliever for the Twins today, and just reactivated yesterday after Michael Tonkin was sent out for reassignment. Right now, all Paul wants out of him is stop the bleeding. Tough day for Matt Belisle. A 1/3 of an inning. Still, the runner at second base is on his back.
Leone, the batter. And Leone hit a big home run in the 6th after the Twins had just tied it at 4. That put Boston up 6-4, and then they wanted nothing to do with him in the 8th and ended up intentionally walking him to set up the double play that they got from Marrero. And Haley, who got to the Twins eventually out of the Boston organization, now facing Sandy Leone. Haley worked his way up to Pawtucket last year, which is Boston's AAA team. 15 appearances, 14 starts, did okay, 8-6 with a 3.59, 230 opponent batting average. And that's why 3 teams, the Angels, the Padres, and the Twins, were interested in him. A Rule 5 guy, he's got to stay on the 25-man roster unless he's hurt, and he's been hurt, but now he's back on the active roster. 2-0 on a ball hit to right center field and deep. Leone has his second home run. And the Red Sox have scored 8 times here in the 9th inning. Excuse me, 7 times. A 2-home run day for Sandy Leone.
Now watch where this ball is left up right over the middle.
Again, we'll mention it because there is some irony here. The Red Sox came into the game unexpectedly, of course, as the team with the fewest home runs in the American League. They'd hit 22. They've got 5 today. On the ground towards the hole, Polanco. Good play and a nice stretch by Vargas. And Marrero is 0 for 5 on a day when the Red Sox have scored 14 runs on 12 hits. 2 away. And Betts will bat for the second time this inning. Marrero getting his first at bats of the season.
Marrero doesn't want to see that.
A lot of extra base hits, 5 home runs, a whole cluster of doubles. And Betts takes ball 1. Two and 0. A 7-run 9th.
Yeah, the Twins had a terrible second inning in yesterday's game, and now a real rough.
This one hit hard to the gap. It one-hops the wall, and Betts has another double for the Red Sox. The only consolation yesterday is the Twins' earned run average didn't take a beating, but it will today.
In a big way.
Twins were 6th in the league. But all the runs here today, all 14 of them so far, have been earned runs. Here's Pedroia. Drew a walk. That opened the door to this awful inning. Strike over the inside corner.
Yeah, I said it when it happened. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt them. And now it shows the importance of what Craig Campbell did when he came into the ball game. The Twins had a chance to tie it, and he strikes out Mauer and Kepler.
Let's go back to that Mauer strikeout and how it's changed things here. This looks like it'll be the 3rd out. And Sano fans on it, and he'll be charged with an error. Pedroia hustling down the line. I'm not even sure Sano put leather on that grounder. So it should be an error charge to Sano, and it is. But let's go back to the Mauer strikeout and how it changed things. Here's Paul Molitor coming out with Lanning Tucker now. Oh boy. We'll check on this first.
Checking Haley and seeing if he's okay.
Activated off a rehab assignment because of, in part, what happened yesterday. In a nightmarish turn of events here in the 9th inning, Haley's going to try to complete the game. Okay, so Mauer taking a pitch off the plate, according to Fox Tracks, and it's a strikeout. If he had not struck out, if the Twins had tied the game, Kinsler is pitching the ninth, not Belisle, because there's not a save situation anymore, unless the Twins had gotten even another run after that. But that strikeout and the fact that the Twins came up 1 run short really changed how things played out here in the ninth.
You know, and up until the top half of this inning, it's been a very entertaining game, and then just a clunker of an inning and total blowout now. But certainly one pitch can change the game, and that's why everybody has to stay on their toes.
Strike on the outside corner. And d'Arnaud is the pinch runner for Pedroia.
All right.
One and one to Bogaerts. Smashed a double down the left field line his first time up this inning. 1 and 2. Breslow getting loose. Down the right field line, a long run for Grossman, and he can't get there. It'll be another extra base hit for the Red Sox. This one rolling to the corner. Bogaerts has a triple. d'Arnaud scores, along with Betts. And now it's been an ugly inning, but now you're feeling for Haley. There was something that caught the attention of the manager and the training staff, and he's trying to fight through this inning, and every batter, every pitch he throws is extending himself beyond.
Well, they can't bring in Chris Jimenez to finish either.
Well, I suppose they could, but then they would.
Castro would have to catch.
Castro would have to catch. Ball 1. And the Red Sox, with 9 runs, lead by 10. The last 2 runs, for what it's worth, unearned runs because of the Sano error. And this is now 2-0. You know, it's
painful.
And I can't believe that they're going to let or ask Haley to pitch beyond this batter.
Well, that's why Breslow's up there.
There's a strike. Sliced foul. Well, if you were naive enough, as I was, to think that the Red Sox might be tired with all the base running they did yesterday, just look at the scoreboard. 16 runs, 14 hits, extra base hits, home runs all over the place. And now in the dirt, 3-2.
Well, I have a very colorful scorecard here today. I always put a bright yellow highlighter when a team scores, and it looks like a shotgun pattern.
Which you may do with that scorecard after this game finally ends. Over the Boston dugout. Baltimore beat the White Sox 4-0. Cleveland beat Kansas City 1-0. Oakland leading Detroit 4-1 in the Bay Area. Hit a ton. It was foul. Haley's got to reload again.
21 pitches now already in this inning, and he's recorded 1 out.
And you just saw Haley flexing his right arm, which the Twins are obviously interested in his long-term well-being. I can't believe he's going to be asked to pitch to anybody after Benintendi. It's 3-2. And he just walked him. And Paul Molitor coming out. He'll bring in Breslow to try to end the inning. Give Haley some credit for insisting on staying in the game. But the Red Sox are blowing this thing wide open. And now Craig Breslow will have to come in, and Haley will leave with the hope that he is and will be all right. We anticipated a low-scoring game, but Twins scored 6 runs. You'd have thought at the start of the game, yeah, we'll take that. Should be a Twins win. Instead, they're being blown out here at the end by the Red Sox and have had to blow through their bullpen.
Well, everybody's been used except Kinsler and Brzezinski. Craig Breslow, now the 6th Twins reliever to come in the game, and he just needs to record an out.
It's an off day tomorrow, and the Twins will most certainly need it. Relievers have been overused, as it turned out, here over the last 2 days. Hanley Ramirez with an RBI single his last time up this inning. Strike over the inside corner. Missing low, 1-1. Twins will be in Boston for the Fenway Park part of the season series. At the end of June, a 4-game series, 4 night games in Boston. Fouled away. Part of the concern regarding Haley, apart from the Twins, whatever he felt in his arm, was the Twins wanted to leave him in Rochester to build his arm strength back up after not pitching for several weeks. And the need arose, and so it's much because of the pitch count, which hadn't been built up. They had to go get him. And now Breslow takes low. 2-2.
Haley had to throw 22 pitches in his outing today. And again, that error extended his inning.
Again, they wanted, you know, to have him have a second or a third appearance in Rochester to extend himself a little bit. And now Breslow delivers outside, and it's 3-2. Red Sox had an 8-run early inning yesterday, and now a 9-run.
Well, Joe Kelly there warming up in the Sox pen, and I got to believe that because of the length of this half inning, Kimbrel, who would have probably pitched the 9th and been in line for a save, no longer a save opportunity, and they're probably going to bring in.
And yet he saved the game.
Yeah, he totally did.
And you can't even give John Farrell credit for thinking outside the box in terms of, you know, using his closer in the 8th inning because the game was on the line, because I'm sure he had every intention of sending him back out there in the 9th.
No question. But it's just the way it unfolded here in the 9th, where it's imploded for the Twins.
And now Breslow is having a hard time throwing strikes. 175 pitches thrown by just about everybody on the Twins staff today. Seems like twice that many, doesn't it?
Well, this inning certainly has changed everything.
Breslow has thrown 7 pitches and 2 strikes.
You know,
now Jimenez needs.
Doesn't need the glasses anymore. The one guy that's very impressed with this half inning is Chili Davis, the hitting coach for the Red Sox, because he's watching his guys be patient, hitting the ball when they should hit the ball.
And that part really started in the first inning with, you know, looking for Santana's fastball, and if it wasn't perfectly located, jump on it, and they did that. 2-1. That's a check swing, but I think he went. Yep. 2-2. Nice scoop by Jimenez with the bases loaded.
And we still have about 150 kids down the third base line in the second deck.
Yeah, they're sitting there in blue shirts. I know there's a huge group from Itasca County here.
Well, they're shouting, strike them out, and I couldn't agree more.
It was 7-6 when this game started. There they are. I think that's the group from Itasca County. And Moreland draws a bases loaded walk. And Breslow's come in to walk 2 guys.
You know, Joe Mauer gets struck out with the game on the line, and the game's totally out of control right now, and that borderline pitch is called the other way.
And now Chris Young, 3 straight walks to cap off this miserable inning. Breslow's thrown 11 pitches, 3 strikes. Excuse me, 12 pitches, 3 strikes. We have 13 on the screen. I'll go with that. And now a foul ball.
This is the 7th Red Sox hitter to hit twice in this half inning.
just noticed, and well, of course Buxton was removed for a pinch hitter in the 8th inning, but Kepler is in center and Grossman's in right. And it looks like the Twins' chances of yeah, I guess that compounds matters. Even if the Twins come back a little bit, the pitcher's got to hit because they lost the designated hitter. Kepler back, still going back, and he has to leap to make the catch at the end. It has ended. The 10-run Boston 9th inning has ended. Sandy Leon with a couple of 2-run home runs, and they have been big home runs. Given the placement within this game that is going to go down almost certainty as a big blowout game. Darno in at second base, but he got home runs that really mattered. At least the first one did. Kimbrel got 2 strikeouts that mattered in the 8th, and now Kelly will get the 9th. And Robbie Grossman will begin what will go down in history as the biggest comeback in Major League history. Fouled away.
Well, we'll see at 7 o'clock tonight.
The Twins come back and win this game. This pencil, which I just started using today, will be worn down to the nub.
Out of lead.
1 strike. And strike 2. Ooh. That fastball zipped in there. I don't know where it missed. It looked like a strike from up here. Grossman now with a 1-2 count. High, I guess. Line foul. Grossman in the leadoff spot drew a couple of walks, struck out a couple of times. Twins came back successfully from an early 4-0 deficit against Chris Sale, and then nearly came back from a 7-4 deficit.
Well, Joe Kelly, the 13th pitcher used in today's game,
which again you wouldn't have thought.
We thought it was going to be a pitcher's duel.
Sale against Santana.
2 guys left that haven't pitched in the Red Sox bullpen: Fernando Abad, Ben Taylor.
And 2 guys in the Twins bullpen, Brandon Kinsler and Drew Rosinski.
And Grossman trying to put together a good at bat here to start the bottom of the 9th. Inside, and now 3-2.
100-mile-an-hour fastball. They've got some live arms in the bullpen for the Boston Red Sox.
Popped up.
Out of play.
Marrero over, but it is out of play. Grossman, Polanco, and Sano here in the 9th. Ouch. Jam shot and a roller to short. Grossman retired one away. I'll bring up Polanco. Time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. And look who will face the Twins Tuesday in Chicago. Mike Pelfrey will go for the White Sox against Hector Santiago. Santiago, former White Sox pitcher. Pelfrey, a former Twins pitcher.
Yeah, I think that's a conspiracy theory. the Tigers are paying Mike Pelfrey to pitch for the White Sox.
Paying him $8 million to pitch for the White Sox. I just want that to happen to me one time, Jack. Once.
I'll give you $1 to go work for the Tigers.
One strike. And Polanco takes a second strike.
There's just a lot of big ugly numbers on the scoreboard right now.
In the absence of anything else that's of riveting interest at this point, let me ask you something, because the game sure seemed to swing on the strike 3 call to Mauer. And it happens. Umpires are human. There's growing sentiment, I think, to take the human element out of calling balls and strikes. Would you like an automated strike zone?
I said that as a player back when I realized that there was laser beams that could be doing that. Yeah, I don't think, I wouldn't be offended by that. The real question is, who would win, the catcher or the hitters or the pitchers? And I got to believe the pitchers would really benefit from this.
Really?
I do, because hitters always have ways of using their body to make it appear to an umpire that it's not a strike. And you got to remember, the lasers go straight up from all 5 corners of the plate. And so any part of that baseball, catching any part of that plate, would send off the positive audio sound that it's a strike. So I think there would actually be more strikes called.
Okay, well,
it'll be I mean, you know, it'd be interesting if they just try to create the technology to give it a try, whether they ever bring it to the big leagues or minor leagues even. But at some point, just try it to see what kind of effect it has. You know what we've seen since instant replay is the close calls at first base. There's no arguments anymore.
Right.
And umpires sometimes, I think, lack the effort of making the right call because they know it's going to be reviewed. Takes them out of it. Now there would still be a home plate umpire for, you know, slides and those kind of things.
Or if the technology breaks down, or I don't.
Yeah. I'm not sure he would be standing directly behind the catcher anymore to take foul tips and get hurt.
That's, and in that regard, you might get approval from the umpires union for that. A long at bat for Grossman and a long one for Polanco. He ends up going to first with a walk. Here is Sano. 0 for 3 with a walk.
You know, you eliminate the runs in the 9th inning for Boston, and this was the setup we were hoping
that's right.
for.
You're right.
Polanco gets on with Sano having a chance to do some damage. But we're going to have to wait here about another hour and a half before that happens.
Breaking ball over for strike 1. 0 for 3 today. Sano's average at .303. And then, of course, when we get to Chicago on Tuesday, it's anybody's guess as to whether Sano will be able to play.
Yeah, that suspension ruling is supposed to come out.
The appeal heard on Friday. Sano's been able to be in the lineup through this 3-game series with the Red Sox, but the judgment, the final judgment, is supposed to come either tomorrow or Tuesday morning. Outside, 2-1.
Do you think the person in charge is going to look at these last 2 games and feel sorry for the Twins, say, what the heck, we need to keep him in the lineup?
No. You know, if it was a case where he got 4 games and they wanted it reduced to 2 or 4, I could see that happening. I don't. Ground ball to third. Could be an inning-ending double play, and a game ender it is. Sano wraps into a double play, and the Red Sox take 2 out of 3, using big innings both Saturday and Sunday to get it done.
Well, 2 ugly innings. The 2nd inning in game 2 of the series, the 9th inning, and in the last final game, the Red Sox leave town winning the series. Other than that, it was really a fun game. 9th inning just sort of ruined it for all Twins fans.
Anthony Lepanto, the next time we try to build a pitching duel, let's hope we don't have 23 runs on the board by game's end.
I'll bet on it next time around. 23 total runs in a matchup between the top 2 pitchers in the American League. We'll show you how command was not the strong point of Urban Santana today, how the Red Sox came alive with another big inning late. Hear from Paul Molitor all next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink.